They made 3 errors last night and 2 the night before. Now Wandy goes to work. Granderson takes a look at strike one on the fastball. Jim Reynolds is the home plate umpire. Granderson opens the night at 261. He has 17 homers, 42 runs batted in. Very powerful leadoff man. Showing bunt, and he can do that as well. Good combination of speed and power from Granderson, who's 28 years old, from Blue Island, Illinois.
And what do we got? We got a door open out there by the Tigers bullpen.
Okay. Carlos Lee will take care of that.
I didn't even hear the doorbell.
Folks who have been leaving that Tiger bullpen have really been bringing some high-octane gas to the mound lately.
American League guys, no manners. Close the door behind them. It's an American League thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Breaking pitch hit to left center field. Michael Bourne way back on the track, leaping. Tremendous play by Bourne to open this ball game and rob Granderson.
Granderson, kind of a Alfonso Soriano, only from the other side type player in that leadoff role with all that power. And he made a nice bid here for extra bases, but Michael Bourne able to track it down and make a nice play. So important early because pitcher trying to feel his way oftentimes in the first inning sometimes needs a little help.
Placido Polanco, the former St. Louis Cardinal, looks at strike one.
And we get a good look at it here. You'll see the swing and then the break. Michael up on the balls of his feet, ready to move. And move he does. Hello, Wall.
Foul back on the fastball. No balls, 2 strikes to Polanco, the 33-year-old second baseman. Did a fine job last year for Detroit. 265 this season. 3 homers, 27 runs batted in. A little bit lower than average on base average. He does not walk very much, 16 times this year. But he's been a very good contact hitter, which qualifies him eminently to be in the number 2 spot on the order.
Yep, and a guy you can play hit and run with. Willing to take some pitches to allow Granderson to try to steal a bag if he reaches ahead of him.
One hopper sharply hit to Miguel Tejada. Turns it into out number 2. Miggy was honored before the game with a nice plaque commemorating his 2000th career hit. Now it's Miguel Cabrera. There was number 2000 in Arizona.
Yeah, it was just before Lance hit career home run number 300. Lance honored here the other night. Now Miggy taking home a nice memento. And tomorrow will be Pudge Rodriguez being honored, setting the record for all-time games caught by a catcher.
335 for Cabrera, 15 homers. He's driven in 46. High on base average. 1 ball, 1 strike. He is only 26 years old. Venezuela, what a hitter. 309 career average coming into this season. Hit 37 bombs to lead the American League last year. It's in the dirt. It's 2-1. The Astros have been facing him since 03 when he was a Florida Marlin. And he went on to become the youngest player to put together consecutive 30 home run seasons. In 04 and 05, hitting 33 in each of those years. 3 balls and a strike to Miguel Cabrera. He's in the top 10 in the American League in several departments. Second in batting average. Three 2.
A little 3-1 change up there. He really sells it well. Cabrera sees fastball, gets it started, and change up about 6 or 7 miles an hour off of his fastball. A little dip to it.
And now the curve is foul.
Oh, hello.
We're off the top rail now in that Tiger dugout. That was a shot. So change up curveball, and now Wandy still sitting at 3-2 in the count with Marcus Thames on deck. Tries to figure out how to finish off Cabrera. And the fastball's fouled away. He's seen just about everything in this at bat.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that forces you to break out the entire arsenal.
Field, it's hooking, but it stays right of the foul pole, and that's a long Cabrera home run. Number 16 gives the Tigers a 1-0 lead. Cabrera with his 47th run batted in. That's his 5th career homer against Astros pitching.
I never saw that ball. I saw it off the bat. Never did pick it up again. It was a changeup. He came back with a changeup, the one he threw so effectively on 3-1. And Cabrera trying to deliver a little scouting report to Brandon Idge right there. I saw a changeup, curveball. He's getting the whole run down there as he made his way back to the dugout. That 3-2 changeup was a hanger.
Looked like it went just to the right of the word "eat" at the top of the foul pole. And there is some food up there for Cabrera, apparently. 1 ball to Marcus Thames. And he gets a slant for a 1-ball-1-strike count.
Yeah. Wandy's allowed home runs now in 5 consecutive starts after going so long without allowing a single home run.
Foul ball by Thames, 1-2. The Tigers now have homered in 10 consecutive games. 5 long balls for Marcus Thames and 12 runs batted in. Thames has been on the disabled list since coming off. He's hit in 12 of his last 18. Now it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count to Marcus Thames. His 93 career homers. Curve goes for ball 3, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Thames turned 32 in the offseason. Hit 25 homers last year for the Tigers. And he looks at a 2-out walk. Tigers are 9th in the American League in drawing walks. They're 7th in runs scored.
Well, Bud should have a pretty good idea how to pitch to these Tiger hitters. He spent the lion's share of last season with Detroit.
Yeah, it was interesting to read Jim Leland's comments about him. They really had a lot of respect for each other. Brandon Inge, the batter. Inge is an acrobatic third baseman. His hitting has been strong this year. There's ball 1. Pudge wanting Wandy to keep things under control. Inge with 17 homers is tied with Granderson for the club lead. He has 49 runs batted in while hitting .270. Off year last year, .205 batting average.
Yeah, and Wandy a little frustrated trying to overthrow that fastball a little bit here. This is a challenging lineup for him to face. All right-handed batters except for Granderson, the leadoff man. And when you look at the averages for these Tiger hitters against lefties, it's pretty impressive. You go down the line, it's .299, .339, .323, .333. So some pretty robust numbers. And now Cecil Cooper out to have a chat with Wandy as well. We've seen a lot of this from Coop lately. Over the last 10 games, the Tigers are doing a lot of things right. Only .300. Best mark in the league. 5.5 runs per game, 19 bombs. And a lot of that coming in their own ballpark, which is not a good hitter's ballpark.
Good point.
Big yard up there, Comerica.
Very large. During their 7-game winning streak, they've outscored their opponents 44-26. Here's where the home run went. Right in the middle of that spotlight, JD.
Yeah, well, that's what happens to hanging changeups to Miguel Cabrera. They go a long, long way.
Foul back by Inge, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. You were talking about it earlier, the fact that last year the Tigers wanted Inge to move behind the plate some, which he tried. This year he settled back in at third base and has responded very well to that stability. 32 years old. He was a 2nd-round pick in '98. He's from Virginia Commonwealth. It's 3-1 to Brandon Inge. Hit 27 homers in '06. The Tigers went to the World Series. 3rd 3-ball count for Wandy Rodriguez. And now he goes to ball 4. Back-to-back walks, bringing up Maglio Ordonez.
Yeah, 2 outs, nobody on, and Cabrera gave him a good tough at bat and ended up hitting the home run. And it's kind of like that home run got Wandy back on his heels a little bit. Where maybe trusting his stuff enough and trying to work out of the zone. And the Tigers, not a real patient club. They don't draw a lot of walks, but they're showing good patience here in the early going.
Different looking Maglio Ordonez. He cut off his hair. 274, 3 homers, 24 runs batted in. He drives this one to right field. Hunter Pence back, still retreating for the third out. 1 run, 1 hit. A long homer from Miguel Cabrera makes it Detroit 1. Houston coming up. The Astros starting lineup. They're 33 and 37. Michael Bourne, Jeff Keppinger, Miguel Tejada, Carlos Lee, Lance Berkman, Hunter Pence, Ivan Rodriguez, Kazuo Matsui, Wandy Rodriguez. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines.
Justin Verlander, an off year last year, but he's bounced back, regained his form. He's one of the best in the American League. He leads the AL in strikeouts with 118, 8-3 with a 3.31 ERA. Power arm, big time fastball, nasty curveball, occasional slider, and a good changeup too.
Just 26 years old, the second player drafted in the 04 draft from Old Dominion. Fastball is good for strike 1 to Michael Bourne. 289 for Michael, 2 homers, 18 runs batted in. He has scored 41 times. Michael 1 for 13 on this homestand. Has a 1-1 count. Third baseman Inge is in close. There goes foul, and it's 1-2. Verlander has pitched once against the Astros. That was in the 06 season. Shut out the Astros and Andy Pettitte 5-0. Coming off a win over the Brewers in which he threw 115 pitches with those numbers, and he won it 3-2. Oh. Changeup.
Yeah, that's been the real difference maker for him. When he first came up, he had the power arm and the good breaking ball, but I think that changeup is something that's kind of come along in the last couple of seasons. We'll take a look at the Tigers now, defensively, brought to you by the BMW, Thames, Granderson, and Ordonez. That left side of the infield, Adam Everett, Brandon Idge, they can really pick it over there. Polanco's the second baseman. Cabrera's at first. Gerald Laird, formerly of the Rangers, is behind the dish.
1-1 to Jeff Keppinger. 261 for Jeff, 3 homers, 9 runs batted in. Jeff Plum had an injury rehab game last night in Oklahoma City for Round Rock. He gets another one tonight. Then he returns to the club tomorrow. Will work out and not play. He will be eligible to be activated on Sunday off the DL. The left hamstring problem. 2 balls, 1 strike. Verlander can pick up velocity during the game. He was at 94 on that pitch. And we saw that in 06 when he blanked the Astros on 3 hits. Broken bat looper falls into shallow right field, and a hit for Keppinger. He's on to 1 out.
Verlander trying to set the tone here, working very quickly, throwing a lot of fastballs, trying to attack the Astro hitters, and Keppinger able to fight that one off. Put him in the stretch, put a little pressure on him.
Miguel Tejada is tied for the hit lead with David Wright. He has 94 hits, a 328 average, 6 homers, 39 driven in. Tejada's hitting 358 at home. Everett and Polanco a double play depth. That one goes into right field. Keppinger takes a look. He'll keep going to third on a single by Tejada. Shot ground ball hit, first and third, 1 out for Carlos Lee.
Well, again, a first pitch fastball over the plate, down a little bit, and Miggy, a good job of just steering that ball through the hole on the right side.
Snaps an 0 for 8 for him. Now Lee. Runners at the corners and 1 down. Comes up at 301. Carlos with 12 homers, 43 runs batted in. And a big situation for him early in this game. Carlos was 3 for 9 in the Kansas City series. He looks at strike 1 from Verlander. .292 career hitter against Detroit.
Didn't take Verlander long to find some extra MPH on that fastball. And started the game. The first one was 92. Now he's up to 98. And tying run 90 feet away might have something to do with that. Reaching back for a little something extra. He got it.
Big time strikeout pitcher with 119. And a jam shot. Pop up to Polanco. 2 outs. Now Lance Berkman.
Verlander's pitching this inning like he's a closer.
Yeah.
And he's just pumping fastballs up there, not really trying to locate it. There it sets up down and away. He throws it up and in. He's just trusting his good stuff to get the jump on these Astro hitters. If their first time facing him in the game, probably figures they're going to be a little bit behind that heater.
2 opposite field homers. Left field from Lance Berkman last night and a single. And both home runs gave the Astros the lead. 2-1 in the second and 5-4 in the 6th inning as he went 3 for 4. He looks at ball 1. That's a .248, has 16 homers, 42 runs batted in.
That's his resume, earned him a curveball. And a changeup.
1 ball, 1 strike. He was 1 for 3 against this pitcher with an RBI.
This changeup is borderline unfair when you're looking for a 98-mile-an-hour heater, and he's able to make that kind of a pitch with his changeup. That is just it's devastating.
Now 1-1. Lance becoming the 3rd Astro to reach 1,000 RBIs in last night's game. It's 1-2 for Verlander. Verlander over a stretch of 6 starts, April 27th through May 25th, fanned 60 batters. Only the 3rd Tiger to accomplish that feat, joining Mickey Lolich and Denny McClain.
Those guys were pretty good.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Laird blocked it out in front. Tejada took a couple steps, then turned back to first base.
Denny McClain, the last pitcher in Major League Baseball to win 30 games. Lolich, the great lefty.
Verlander struck out 13 on May 14th at Minnesota. And Lolich, the only 2 pitchers in Tigers history to strike out 35 over 3 starts. Now Berkman has worked it full with Hunter Pence on deck. Verlander has had the best record in the majors since the 23rd of April. Hooks Doss, the Tigers' all-time win leader at 222.
I'm not familiar with Hooks' work.
No, don't know him or George Muller.
Yeah. Now Newhouser won back-to-back MVPs back in the 40s.
Yes, he did. Big 3-2 coming. First of all, he looks to third, looks to first. Keppinger and Tejada draw a little attention from Verlander.
It's interesting, the psyche of a pitcher when faced with a guy like Berkman. I mean, his MO this whole inning was attack, just pump fastballs, and I'm going to beat you. And now with Lance, off-speed stuff, pick-offs, he doesn't feel as confident.
And ball 4 will load the sacks for Hunter Pence. Berkman's 51st walk of the year. Verlander's walked only 31 in 99 innings.
First crisis point in the ball game for Verlander now. Hunter Pence with an opportunity to give the Astros the lead with a base hit.
Hunter was 1 for 12 in the Kansas City series. .242 career hitter with the bases loaded. And he said tonight around the cage, I just don't like where my hands are right now. Big at bat for him here early in this game. There's a heater, 97, strike 1.
But a good aggressive swing, and that's the key for Hunter. Just make sure you attack strikes. Lately he's gotten into that mode of chasing that breaking ball out of the strike zone a little bit, pulling off the slider.
Foul back, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Verlander coming right after, and 98 that time.
Gives you a lot to think about as a hitter. The 98-mile-an-hour heater, the 78-mile-an-hour changeup. That changeup, I doubt that he'll throw to right-handers. Mostly fastball breaking pitch to right-handed hitters.
And the breaking pitch is wide. 1-2. Justin Verlander has 54 major league wins, 37 losses. Pitched a no-hitter in 07 against Milwaukee. Rookie of the year in 06 for the Tigers, 17-9 that year.
And a good for the changeup.
2-2.
The reason I said most guys, right-handed pitchers, generally don't like to throw changeups to right-handed hitters and vice versa, lefties on lefties, because the changeup typically will drift into the same sided hitter. Righty's changeup will move into a right-handed hitter. It's tough to command that pitch down and away.
Fastball struck him out. He escaped bases loaded trouble with strikeout number 2. No runs, 2 hits, 3 left, 1-0 Detroit.
To honor some of the great moments, we present the 10-year bracket challenge. The quarterfinals are on, and you can vote between Craig Biggio's final game in 2007 or Jeff Kent's home run, the game winner, bottom of the 9th, Game 5 of the 04 NLCS. Do it at Astros.com. Every time he does it, it's amazing.
Gerald Laird takes the first pitch, and it's 1-0 Detroit, and the count is 1-0. Laird, a .226 hitter, 3 homers, 17 runs batted in, former Texas Ranger. Fouls it back, 1-1. He came in a trade to Detroit in December of 08. He started his career with Oakland, a second-round pick in '98 from Westminster, California, where he went to Cypress Junior College.
Be careful at third base. He likes to bunt.
Fly ball, Tejada out. Does he really?
Yeah, he likes to try to bunt for a hit every now and then. If you play back, he'll try to take advantage of that. Fox Sports Houston is now on Facebook. Expand your sporting network. Stay connected by logging on to Facebook.com, searching for Fox Sports Houston. Home teams all the time.
Former Astro Adam Everett back now in a different uniform. Last year with the Astros is 07. He hit .248 with a .976 fielding percentage, coming back at age 32 after an injury-riddled season with the Twins last year. Ball 1 to Adam. Wife Jennifer and the kids back home. He's on a 3-game hitting streak, .265, 2 homers, 27 runs batted in for Adam. First round pick in '98 by Boston. The Astros got him in a trade in December of '99 for Carl Everett. And of course, he was a big part of those playoff teams in 04 and 05. One of the best fielding shortstops around. He's hit well this year. Line drive left field. That went off the wall. It kicks back toward third base, and Everett is in with a double. He got a lot of hits like that when he was here.
Well, he did. He was a pull hitter when he first came up, and he would hit for occasional power, especially with the Crawford boxes right there. And then the Astros worked real hard to try to change the swing to get him to hit the ball the other way, try to stay inside the ball in hopes that he could develop into a higher average guy, more of an on-base guy. And it never really happened, and you wonder if they just kind of left that all alone and just let him be the pull hitter he was when he first came up, if he would have ended up having better years offensively.
Now Verlander, showing no signs of a bunt, takes ball 1. He is 0 for 1 so far this season. 0 for 11 in his career with 2 sacrifices. Verlander really suffered through a tough season last year. He was 11 and 17. ERA last year was 4.84. 2 balls, no strikes. You talked about the Tigers as a team, and that was the general malaise affecting a lot of their players as they slumped to 74 and 88 last year, finished in 5th place.
And I remember in the spring training, everybody thought this team's going to score 1,000 runs.
Yeah.
It's going to be the best team ever. They're the 27 Yankees. And it's going to work out that well for them. Tomorrow night it's a 6:05 ball game, and if you come early, and you're one of the first 10,000 fans, you'll receive the bronze Jeff Bagwell bus. That's the courtesy of Coca-Cola and HEB. Piece 1 and a 2-piece set that will also feature Craig Biggio. So Batman and Robin back at it again. 1-877-9-ASTROS or Astros.com. And I was wrong when I was making my reference to Commissioner Gordon with that. Yeah, Kevin Eschenfelder pointed out to me it wasn't the phone. You pull the guy's head back and you push the button and the wall opened up. And that's where the pulls were to go to the bat cave.
Okay. It's important to get that right.
Yeah.
2 balls, no strikes. And it's 2-1 to Verlander. Tomorrow night, that pitching matchup will be Felipe Paulino, who's coming off the disabled list, and Alfredo Figueroa. And that's a 6:05 start. 5:30 for Astros Live. The Astros obviously will have to make a player move to get Paulino off the DL. And they're not tipping their hand on that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Then Jeff Blum could come back on Sunday, and that would require another player move. Could be kind of a nervous weekend for some guys in the Astros clubhouse, wondering if they'll be here or not. Swing and a miss by Verlander. He strikes out on a curve, and that's strikeout number 1 for Wandy.
Good visit by Dewey Robinson. Wandy out of sorts a little bit. Dewey went out, had a little chat, and Wandy responded. Yeah, for a myriad of reasons, a nervous time for a couple guys who are going to get sent out. Maybe more than anything, the idea that you got to go play somewhere in this heat, as opposed to we're going to California, we're going to San Diego and San Francisco.
Yeah. Granderson, the batter, looks at ball 1. Michael Bourne made a nice catch on his deep drive to left center earlier. Granderson last year had 22 homers, 26 doubles, and 13 triples. Popped up foul. Keppinger over. Won't get to it. So we talk about power. Usually people think about home runs, but doubles and triples are reflective of the guy's power as well.
Absolutely, yeah. No, talk about slugging percentage. You're talking about total bases. So guys that hit a lot of doubles and triples. And of course, that, again, that ballpark in Detroit is so big. You know, some balls that will be out of other ballparks are going to stay in play there. And if you got speed like Granderson, they turn into triples.
Anderson, for a time, was batting 5th this year. He hit 2 balls and a strike, but he has a good on base average, 341, not great. And last year he struck out 111 times, 57 so far this year. So he's got some of those attributes of a power hitter as well as speed. Scored 112 runs last year, 2nd in the league. Now it's 3-1 to Granderson. Tigers are 15-6. Games started by lefties against them. That's the way the Astros play Granderson. Tigers coming off a 6-0 homestand against Milwaukee and the Cubs. This is the first of a 9-game road trip for them. Granderson walks. That's number 3 for Wandy Rodriguez. And it's Polanco batting. He walked 3 in 7 innings in his last start, the 4-1 win at Minnesota. At Texas, he walked 5 in 4 innings. Polanco hit the ball on the ground to shortstop his first time up. Polanco looks at strike 1. Just a fundamentally sound player here. He and Adam Everett team for a good double play combination. Gets this one to left field. Carlos Lee backing, looking up. Polanco, it's a deep drive to left. And Polanco goes into his home run trot on a 3-run shot. Number 4 for Polanco, and that's unexpected. 4-0 Tigers.
Yeah, and you know, the home run that Cabrera hit in the first inning, a solo shot, you're thinking, well, that's probably not going to beat you. But this one here just might, with Verlander on the mound. Astros have a long way to go, although it's very early in the ball game. Polanco really stays through that breaking pitch. Wandy again, the home run bugaboo really biting him in recent starts.
4 homers, 30 runs batted in for Polanco. Now 4-0 with Cabrera taking ball one. Tigers playing with a lot of confidence. They're 10 games over 500 for the first time since the 07 season. In the dirt for ball two. Tigers are 9-6 in interleague play. They have the best record in interleague play since the 06 season, 51-18. Foul back, and it's 2-1. Cabrera, one of those guys who came into the league and everybody was watching him from the outset, thinking that he could be just an outstanding hitter for a career, and he certainly has not failed to live up to a lot of high expectations with his .309 career average and power.
There were no real growing pains for Cabrera. He came up knowing how to hit, and he's never stopped. Kind of like Pujols.
Yeah. Good comparison, 3-2, and the word on Cabrera is he is quite a bit improved defensively at first base. Former third baseman. Curveball struck him out. That's number 2 for Wandy. The Tigers score 3 runs with one swing of the bat. Polanco makes it 4-0 Detroit. We'll hear from Pudge Rodriguez on being a morning person. We've seen him in some gyms on the road, hotels. So
you have, I haven't.
No, you don't get down there as early.
You don't get down there, period. I ascribe to the Darren Clark philosophy when asked why he didn't lift weights, and he said because they're heavy.
Pudge with Detroit from 04 through 08, a .297 hitter, 62 homers, 300 runs batted in. He had a chat with Jim Leland on the field before the game tonight. And they had their spats, Leland said, but it was because they both really cared.
Nothing wrong with a little creative tension on a ball club. Proverb, everybody leans to the same side of the boat. It's going to tip over. And have a little push and pull.
Kind of surprising that Leland has a losing record for his career, but then again, he has a great track record with those World Series teams too. So at the high end, it's been really high. 1 ball, 1 strike, but he's been involved in some building situations, and of course the Colorado thing was a disaster, and he walked away from that, but came back very much refurbished into this Detroit situation. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and that's worked quite well for Jim Leland. He was furbished earlier.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's that furbished again.
We got to work that in every night now somehow.
It's like the old You Bet Your Life, the Groucho Marx show, the secret word, the duck would pop down. And the secret word is focus.
Yeah. Interleague baseball comes to Houston, and the Tigers have not played at Minute Maid Park until tonight. Their last trip here was in the Astrodome days. They have won their last 4 games from the Astros, who went to Comerica the last these 2 teams met. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, the Astros left the bases loaded in the bottom half of the first inning. The good news, though, is that at least they made Verlander work. He threw a lot of pitches. He's up to 28 now, and that's one of the strategies when you face a guy like Verlander.
Strikeout.
Try to work the count a little bit, extend him, and try to get into that bullpen, although it's a good bullpen that the Tigers have. And Pudge thought this breaking ball was maybe a little up, maybe a little in. Jim Reynolds, so far tonight, has shown that he will call the high pitch.
Laird had to move the mitt quite a bit to receive that one. Reynolds just calling strikeout number 3 for Verlander. Now it's Matsui. He was saying his back is much better now. There's ball 1. Caswell with .238 with 1 homer has 14 runs batted in. He went 3 for 9 in the Royals series with an RBI. Fouls it back. He had a 6-game hitting streak, but the Royals snapped that one last night as he went 0 for 2. Yesterday afternoon, rather. 1-1 to Caswell. Mike Hampton threw a simulated game today, and he's feeling good. Plan is to pitch him Tuesday on the road at San Diego. 2 balls and a strike. There's another player move coming up. 3 possible moves in the mix here the next 5 days or so. Foul back. 2-2. Well, Mike tested everything today. He said, well, it wouldn't be the same as in a game, but as much as you could test it in a simulated game, and the groin felt fine.
Yeah, Astros are going to have some tough decisions moving forward, not only who they activate, but how this rotation ultimately will shape up for the next little while. Paulino rejoins the rotation tomorrow. Russ Ortiz has certainly pitched well enough to stay in the rotation.
Yeah, these are not going to be easy decisions. Adam Everett to his right. Throws out a hustling Matsui. 2 down. Everett very smooth at shortstop. Fundamentally extremely sound. Makes it look easy.
Yeah, well, I remember talking to Craig Reynolds about him pretty early on in his time here, and Craig said just watch his feet. He's got great feet, always in good position. Silky smooth out there.
He is. Wandy Rodriguez stands there and looks at ball 1. He has 1 hit and 25 at bats. Jim Leland did an interview on Astros radio pregame with Dave Raymond. Dave was talking about that at dinner tonight. He indicated he thought managing in the American League was actually tougher in terms of using the personnel, and you can kind of understand with the explanation that, well, you have to decide how to work in your bench players.
Yeah, I think the in-game managing, the strategizing is tougher in the National League with pitching decisions and things of that nature, but I get what he's saying, because in the National League you have far more opportunities to use your bench, pinch hit situations, and maybe leave them in the game for a couple innings. Obviously, you do very little pinch hitting in the American League.
Strike 3. Verlander can make it easy for the manager. That's 4 strikeouts for him through the first 2 and a 4-0 Tiger lead. Joined by the Astros first-round draft pick, Giovanni Meyer joins us in from California on his way to Tennessee. World traveler, Giovanni.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's such an important and exciting moment for a young guy just coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Dreaming of this your whole life, and now you're on the verge of it. First pro game coming up. When is your first game going to be that you will play? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I report tomorrow at Saturday, and we have a game Saturday night. Yeah, I'm not sure when I'll play.
Time's your flight?
I think 11 in the morning.
So get you there, get you a little BP. We'll get you in there.
Yep.
Get you a little pinch hit at bat or something anyway.
Yeah, hopefully.
You might be crossing paths with some of these gentlemen who have been first-round choices. Jason Castro's at AA right now. Max Sapp has had a rough ride with his health. Hopefully he'll be back in uniform for next year. Brian Bogusevic's at AAA now. So you'll have a chance along the way to meet up with some of them. And how about as this team was working out, you went out and you worked out with the Major League Club today. You took some ground balls, you took some swings, went out and did some stretching. How much did you follow the Astros prior to the draft?
To be honest, not too much. I saw a couple of games of theirs. I was too familiar with their club, and I knew a lot of their players. And but as followed as much, I didn't that much.
Did you grow up a Dodger fan?
I grew up an Angel fan.
Angel
actually.
fan, yeah.
My family's a diehard Angel fan or Dodger fans.
We can deal with the Angel part of the equation, the Dodger thing. But your brother's playing in the Dodger organization,
yeah,
right?
My brother was drafted in 07, so he's up there with them.
And what does he tell you about how difficult it is?
He tells me it's very difficult. He tries to tell me have fun and enjoy the ride. And there's going to be your struggles, but it's always bounce back from them. It's a great game. So.
Did he sign out of high school or college?
He came out of Lewis and Clark College up in Idaho.
No, so how difficult was this decision for you? Obviously, if you're first round pick, you're going to get a chance to make a lot of money, but you probably had you focused on a college or two where you signed a letter of intent anywhere?
Yeah, I was committed to USC.
Okay.
And
so that's not easy to pass up either.
No, I mean, it's a great school, great college, great program, and it definitely gave me a run. So I was excited.
And at this stage of your life, some guys don't like giving rejection to somebody. You've got to tell somebody no. I'm either not playing at college or I'm not signing Is that difficult for you to do?
Yeah, definitely. You grow a relationship with the college coaches, and telling them you're not going to be playing for them, it's kind of difficult. So.
3 balls, 2 strikes for Wandy as he faces Brandon Inge.
But you were in here for the camp, the pre-draft camp, right? At Minute Maid. So
yeah, I came out after our high school season was done. I flew out here for the camp. And I was here for the day.
And did you get the sense then that the Astros this might be a home for you?
Yeah, right after the workout, I talked to my advisor a little bit. And he let me know a little bit what was going to happen. So it was a good feel.
As you weigh a college type situation with a professional situation, obviously you're going to have a chance to learn a whole lot playing as many games, and you signed early enough, you're going to get a lot of games in your very first year.
Yeah, that was the point, to get me out there and play and start my career early. So I was real happy I got to do that.
So take us back to the day of the draft. Did you have a party at the house? We gathered around waiting for the phone to ring?
Yeah, it was the day of my graduation, so I had I didn't invite anyone. They all knew that it was draft day, and they kind of just showed up. I have a large family, very, very tight family, so they were all there, and it was a great experience, great time for all of us. And after that, I had to run to my graduation.
Wow!
And get ready for that.
That's a whole lot going on, man.
Oh, yeah, it was a great day.
Jam-packed day.
That's cool.
3 balls, no strikes. On the Angels, did you have a favorite shortstop you followed?
Before it was David Exine. That's when I was coming up watching them. Now, not so much. I'm watching Tejada.
Well, you just got that plaque for hit number 2,000.
Yep.
Be nice to have one of those yourself someday, wouldn't it? 3 balls and a strike. 394 this year in high school. How did you feel that you did? Were you happy with that? Did you think you could have done better than that?
I thought I could have done better. Wow. I was pleased, but I knew I was capable of doing a lot better.
Giovanni, we wish you all the best. Thanks so much for joining us. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Good luck. The Anderson Cancer Center and by Southwest Airlines. 4-0. The Tigers lead it here in smoking hot Houston, Texas. The Tigers coming from Omerica. They put quite a run together. They've won their last 8 at home. They're 23-11 at home. 18-20 on the road. Justin Verlander in interleague play, and his career is 9-1 with a 2.76 ERA. He beat Andy Pettit that day at Detroit. 8 innings of 3-hit shutout ball, striking out 7. So the Astros know what he can do. Michael Bourne leads it off. And there's ball 1 upstairs from Verlander. Bourne struck out in the first inning. Inge in tight at third. That one goes out of play for Adam Everett. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. The Tigers go on to Oakland and Minnesota after this stop. And Gene Lamont, who's the bench coach for Jim Leland, is saying they have 5 3-city road trips this year. This is their 3rd already.
Yeah, that's kind of what the Astros had last year.
Yeah.
Astros had 6 of those babies. Much easier schedule this season.
An oddity on that Tiger bench, both Jim Leland and Gene Lamont, former Pittsburgh Pirate managers.
Well, and they all came out of the house of La Russa, right? Didn't they both work for Tony in Chicago way back when?
You're right.
It's like royal families, the house of Tudors, and stay with it now. The deflection.
Off the cranium. Off the cranium.
Didn't spill the nachos.
3-2 now to Michael Bourne with Keppinger and Tejada to follow. Exciting time for Giovanni Meyer and all the guys who are just starting their careers this week.
Off to the Appy League. Big kid, 6'2", 175, and room to grow, and kind of broad-shouldered, very athletic.
Greenville, Tennessee is managed with the Rodney Linares. 3-2.
And a certain amount of pressure comes with being the #1 pick. There'll be a lot of eyes on him, and obviously a burden of expectation to perform, and there'll be some jealousy too from teammates and other guys in the league. That's just the nature of it. When you're a first-round pick, you sign a big bonus. get a little more scrutiny. But everything we hear about him is just a real mature kid with a real good head on his shoulders.
47 pitches for Verlander. And Michael Bourne really coaxed that walk. That's the second walk. Our Texas Ford dealers, league leaders, show you the active RBI leaders. By switch hitters, Lance Berkman went over 1,000 last night. Chipper Jones has 1,406. Carlos Beltran 1,027. He's on the DL right now. Lance is third among active switch hitters.
Omar Vizquel just passed Luis Aparicio. Most hits ever by a Venezuelan-born player.
Jeff Keppinger now starting his 9th straight game. Yeah,
man, that was quick.
Quick move. Verlander.
That's how quick the feet are here. Wow. Advanced scouts are scribbling. Be careful.
Almost looked like a missing frame or two. He was so quick. Strike one to Keppinger. Have you ever seen those old storyboards they used to draw up cartoons? How they did that? Did it frame by frame. It almost looked like there were about 2 or 3 frames missing. On his feet, he got it over to first so quickly. And it's 0-2 to Keppinger. So Keppinger has seen all this time at third base now, while Blum has been out. And he's been facing some very tough right-handers without Blum to start at third base. Right-handers are hitting .201 against Verlander. Big curveball, check swing call by Tim Welke.
I imagine Keppinger does not relish facing guys like Verlander, but he's a good tough hitter and hangs in there well and probably appreciates the playing time.
He got that single to right field earlier. Fouls it back.
He was the guy that used to tell the stories about the bench player with the Yankees back in the Mantle days. That he said, "Bench me or trade me." Said,
might have been Phil Linz.
I can't remember who it was. And the story goes, Mantle went up to him and said, "What do you mean? You're getting a chance to play?" He goes, "Yeah, but they're going to find out I can't play if they keep running me out there, and it's going to cost me my career."
Ground ball rolled to Everett's right. He gets it to second quickly. Polanco to first. Safe at first. A one-hop throw cost the Tigers a double play. Keppinger beats it. 1 out. Runner on first.
Now we talk about the smoothness of Adam Everett, and watch this. Watch the flip, how perfectly it's placed to Polanco to lead him and get him out of harm's way as he makes the turn. A little thing, but that is just slick. Drop that back foot and flip that feed to Polanco in a perfect place.
Polanco coming across the bag, couldn't get a lot on his throw. Now Miguel Tejada. He had a ground ball single to right in the first inning. Miggy's a .309 career hitter against the Tigers. Verlander pounds inside, and it's good for strike one. 95 hits. He's third in the majors. Those are the other categories in which he ranks high. Tejada has 32 career interleague home runs. 0-2. Carlos Lee on deck. As Verlander's been spotted to an early 4-0 lead. The Astros 13-9 in June.
And again, you got a guy like Verlander. You just have to continue to battle, try to work the pitch count, and hope he opens a door for you. Walk a couple guys, hang one, and you knock it out of the ballpark. Major league hitters hitting .230 against him. A couple of that with all those strikeouts is not the type of pitcher you feel like you're just going to string a bunch of hits together and put an inning together that way. Not impossible, just not likely.
Grounded, fair, past the diving hinge. It goes deep into the corner. Keppinger is being sent home by Dave Clark. Here's a throw from Thames. No relay to the plate. RBI double by Tejada. 4-1. Tejada Tejada gets his 25th double. That takes over the National League lead for him at RBI number 40.
Hits just keep coming from Mickey. Stayed on that curveball. It was down, but kind of in the middle of the plate, right down the third base line it goes. Dave Clark getting a good long look at it. Sees it shoot into the corner. An aggressive send. No chance to get Peppinger. He's running hard all the way.
He hit that bag in perfect stride. Carlos Lee, the batter, runner at second, one out. Pops it up, and it's out of play. Strike one. That's the 400th career double for Miguel Tejada. Milestone for him. Was the leader among active players at 532. Berkman on deck. Popped up again. Back out of play. A guy like Verlander throwing 97. Sometimes it can be almost a triumph to pop one up against the guy that good.
He has got riding action on his fastball. It's very hard to center. There's a lot of swings and misses and guys hitting under the ball. Ball has a lot of hop as it gets into the hitting zone. Stays on plane longer than most.
Strike three. Lee's still standing there after Jim Reynolds pulled the trigger. It's out number 2, 5 strikeouts for Verlander.
Carlos standing, but not really disputing. And again, that's the difficulty of handling a guy like Verlander. You're trying to get to that 97-mile-an-hour fastball and he drops that breaking pitch on you. Not a whole lot you can do.
Lance Berkman drew a walk in the first inning. Ball one way outside. Cubs beat the White Sox today. Randy Wells got the victory. Kevin Drake got save number 12. Wild ball game.
Oh man, yeah. Milton Bradley and Lou Piniella had a big dust-up apparently.
Why are we not surprised?
Milton was firing a Gatorade jug and just kind of going off, and apparently Lou followed him up the tunnel, took him out of the ball game, and they almost coughed that one up. They had a 5-2 lead. Marmol came in the 8th, walked a couple, and then there was a fly ball to the left that was misplayed by Soriano, and that they were able to hang on and win.
Strike makes it 2-1. Lance came to the big leagues with the Astros in '99. That's the last time the Tigers were in Houston. That was at the Astrodome.
Well, I remember sitting up in the radio booth in the Astrodome interviewing a young Lance Berkman when he was the first pick by the Astros. Doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
It really doesn't. 3-1. Takes a little walk. He's thrown 64 pitches in this game. Giovanni Soto hit a 3-run homer for the Cubs. Jake Fox also went deep in their win over the White Sox 5-4 today. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
But that's kind of the game plan right there against Verlander. If you can be patient, get yourself into a hitter's count, and sit on a fastball and get one, and maybe you can do some damage. Lance had a fastball to hit him, just a little bit behind it.
Files that one back. In that series in '99 at the Astrodome, the Astros swept Detroit. But in '06, they went to Comerica, and Detroit swept them.
Blue Jay fans are everywhere.
They're big in the South. High, ball 4. The appeal goes to third base. Check swing call by Bill Welke. His brother Tim is over at first base. That's walk number 3 for Verlander.
And the second time Lance has walked, Lance able to lay off that high fastball. That's a good sign because that's a pitch he chases from time to time.
have been some rave reviews about the Tigers pitching coach this year. Rick Knapp coming from the Cubs system.
What are the reviews?
And well, he's really improved some of the guys. And certainly the pitchers deserve a whole lot of credit because they've done it, but just his methods of instruction for Rick Knapp, and the Tigers really feel that they tapped a very good pitching coach. He joined them last October. This is his 27th season of pro baseball. He was the minor league pitching coordinator with the Twins for 12 years. I said Cubs, it was Twins. 67 pitches for Verlander, and it's Hunter Pence batting. He struck out with the bases loaded. That's a ball one. It's interesting the way a guy can acquire a reputation in the minor leagues, and then the situation of is he ready for Major League Baseball or not? But he's very good. We saw those Twins pitchers with their numbers and how they're schooled and how they pitch with such good command. So that didn't hurt him to have that succession of outstanding pitchers.
If you have a bunch of young players come through your system, go to the big leagues, and they're all pouring into one guy and really helping, it's got to help your career.
They move late, pitches right there, and it's 1-1 to Hunter Pence.
One of the biggest challenges for a coach coming from the minor leagues to the big leagues for the first time is just credibility, especially a guy who may have never played, and I don't think Knapp ever played in the big leagues. He pitched in the Rangers organization in the minor leagues. Sometimes the major league players kind of cast a wary glance and say, okay, prove to me that you can help me. Give me that minor league stuff. Help me up here.
Well, Fernando Rodney, the closer, has been throwing a devastating changeup this year and has much better command of his fastball. And he's 16 for 16 in saves. Lined over shortstop into left center field. That'll score a run as Tejada comes in to make it 4-2. And Hunter Pence was able to stay back on a 1-2 pitch and pick up the RBI single, his 30th run batted in.
Yeah, for all the good work Hunter has done this year, not a real high RBI total. So this is a big swing of the bat here. He left the bases loaded back in the first inning, gets redemption. Handling a tough breaking ball there.
And the Astros are working their way back into this game with Pudge Rodriguez batting. Pudge struck out looking in the second. Pudge has 238 interleague hits. Only 4 players active have more. Fouls away for strike one. Zach Minor is warming up. Pretty unusual for the Tigers. With Verlander on the mound in the third inning with a lead. Probably to have a pitcher warming up in their bullpen. But there's Minor, and the strikeouts for Verlander, the most by a Tiger pitcher since Jack Morris prior to the All-Star break. That was in '86.
With Verlander at 73 pitches already in this game, Jimmy Leland may have just come to the conclusion that it's going to be a short night for him. He's due up third in the top half of the fourth.
1-2. He's acting as if this might be his last inning. Well, he fired that one at 97.
I'm not sure how they used Minor. Maybe he was just a designated long man tonight, and his time is come and gone, so he's just getting some work in.
Yeah. 35th pitch of the inning is ball too high, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Some of the guys who worked toward the end of the ball game in the Tigers bullpen have been piling up several appearances recently. Not sure about availabilities of some of them, like lefty Bobby C. Fastball. Verlander strikes out Rodriguez for number 6. The Astros scored 2 runs on 2 hits. They leave 2. It's 4-2 Detroit. It is 4-2 Tigers. Aflac trivia time from Minute Maid Park tonight. He's the only Hall of Famer to play for both Detroit and Houston. What do you think about that?
The only Hall of Famer. It's not Rusty Staub because he's not in the Hall of Fame, but he was a really good player.
Yeah.
Played for both these clubs.
Gerald Laird leads it off in the fourth inning, 4-2 Detroit. He had a pop a shortstop. And there's that bunt you talked about. Bare-handed Keppinger cannot make the pickup, and Laird has himself a bunt single.
Yeah, I remember when he was with Texas, he would try to bunt every now and then. With the third baseman playing back, and that's just really well done. He could give a clinic.
Laird is on. That's hit number 4. And now Adam Everett, who doubled to left off the big scoreboard wall, checks with his third base coach. There's strike one to Adam. He hit his 9th double of the year earlier.
And now Adam is capable of bunting for a hit too, so Keppinger has to play even with the bag to respect that.
Gene Lamont coaching at third. I think I mentioned he was a bench coach earlier, but he was the third base coach. Laird draws a throw, and it's 0-1. Former Astros coach.
Do you know, he made a hole-in-one a couple of years ago.
Did he?
Yeah. He could play a little bit.
Where was it, do you know?
I don't remember.
1 ball, 1 strike. Verlander, the pitcher, is on deck. In fact, Minor was warming up, and Minor's been coming in recently. We checked about the 4th, 5th, 6th inning.
Yeah, I just talked to Rod Allen next door about that. He said, yeah, Meyer's our long guy, and
Liner to left. Carlos Lee comes in and makes a nice catch. 1 out. Well hit ball by Everett.
Yeah, Adams hit the ball well twice. Doubled last time, and now this bid for a base hit, but El Caballo says no, sir. The big man, rumbling and stumbling, puts it away.
Verlander struck out in the 2nd inning. He looks at ball 1. Tigers, of course, not allowed to use the DH in the National League Park. Their DHs have 7 homers, 23 runs batted in for 250 at bats. It's not great production. Push toward the first baseman Berkman. Takes a peek at second. Throws to Matsui for the sacrifice from 3-4. 2 outs. Jack in the Box standings will show you the strikeout leaders in Major League Baseball. Verlander has tied Tim Lincecum with his strikeouts tonight at 124. Javier Vasquez has 117. Zach Greinke with 111. The Astros probably will catch Lincecum on the next road trip. They've already seen Greinke.
Yeah, the way they're going. Running into a lot of good arms.
Curtis Granderson hit a deep drive to left center, caught by Michael Bourne. Then he walked and scored on the Polanco 3-run homer.
Tigers have Edwin Jackson going on Sunday, and he can really rush it up there. And you got a scouting report on the kid that's pitching tomorrow, and you heard the same thing about him.
Yeah. This weekend, no day at the beach for Astros hitters at all. Hang in left center. Carlos Lee in. Andy Rodriguez puts up a 0 after the leadoff bunt single by Laird. In the middle of the 4th, it's 4-2 Tigers. Detroit and Houston. Let's see what the answer is tonight. Brought to you by the Aflac Duck. Eddie Matthews, 1967. His 500th home run for Houston. He was primarily a Brave, though. Milwaukee Brave. Left-handed hitting, power hitting third baseman, more than 500 homers in his career. 4-2 ball game. Justin Verlander works the bottom of the 4th inning. Matsui, Rodriguez, and Bourne due up for Houston.
Eddie Matthews 101 games with the Astros in 67, 36 with the Tigers, 31 more the next year with the Tigers before calling it quits.
Verlander versus Matsui, who grounded to short. He bunts through that one. It's strike one. Brings in Inge, the third baseman. The Astros 4-8 against the American League, 1-5 here in Houston. No balls, 2 strikes. The American League has 113 wins coming into today. The National League 96. AL averaging about a half a run per game more than the NL. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Twins lead the Cardinals at St. Louis 2-0. They're in the top of the 5th. For Glenn Perkins and Adam Wainwright.
1987 World Series rematch.
Yeah. Jason Kubel singled in a run.
Home team has to win. Where are they?
St. Louis, yeah. Oh, Laird is down and hurting.
You're afraid to look away.
Yeah.
Look away. Look away. 6-2.
Pudge had one of those in Arizona.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs is hatched in theaters July 1st, the coolest comedy of the summer. So, Manny and Sid the Sloth and Diego is the tiger, Dennis Leary's character. Ray Romano plays the big mammoth in that one. That's the one I'm looking forward to.
Have you seen the trailers?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe there's that little creature that looks like a little rat running around in the previews.
Yeah.
Scritch or snitch or stitch or something like that.
Okay. Well, there wasn't a whole lot they could do for Terrell Laird, but he's ready to go. They want him some time. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes now, and Matsui stepping up. Fly ball. Granderson in center. 1 down.
A little Ahmad Rashad going on with Granderson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See that. Wandy struck out looking in the 2nd.
The Milwaukee's have a 5-1 lead over the San Francisco's tonight. I think that was a Matt Cain Giovanni Gallardo matchup.
Ooh.
Yeah, we've gotten to Kane for 5 runs.
Not too many people have done that.
No. Very low ERA. J.J. Hardy hit a dinger.
J.J. has not done a whole lot this year offensively. Is he on your fantasy team?
Yeah.
That's the way you said that.
I'm hanging in there. It's still early. First half. I'm not going to panic.
Sounded kind of disgusted.
I'm not going to give up on my players.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Show faith in them, and they'll come around for me.
It's a long season, JD.
Right. Marathon. It is not a sprint.
No reason to panic. Ball back.
There are people on the roof tonight. That's brave. It's cooled off a little bit with the sun going down, but it's still got to be pretty toasty up there. Of course, they can duck into the air conditioning anytime they want. So
yeah.
They're a pretty sweet little setup there.
It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Verlander is running up a high pitch count. He's at 87. When he gets outs, he's quite often going to 2-2, 3-2 in the count. Adam Everett fields a 2-hopper. And it's out number 2. Home Depot presents doing more on defense. And Michael Bourne did something for Wandy on the first batter. Granderson driving one, and Bourne with a leaping catch on the warning track in left center field.
Yep, they're going to be able to put together a very nice little highlight package for Michael Bourne at the end of this season. Slashing the ball, running around the bases, making running catches, falling backwards on the hill, making a catch.
Yeah. Strike. Blistering fastball. Bourne struck out and he walked. Keppinger on deck. Verlander working with a pretty nice pace tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Tigers are 3rd in ERA in the American League, 4.11. Bouncer into center field. Michael Bourne is on.
Astros really doing a nice job here against Verlander, working the count and keeping the pressure on. And yeah, he's up to 91 pitches now. It's the 4th inning, so you know he's got this one, maybe one more probably, because it's not just the pitch count, but the fact that he's labored and thrown a lot of pitches in a couple different innings probably got Jim Leland a little concerned down there.
Those crooked numbers. Jeff Keppinger got the first hit off him and then bounced into a force play. And starts and stops. There's ball 1.
They say of Verlander he can throw a football from end zone to end zone.
Ooh.
And he also apparently when he was a kid in Little League, kids on deck would start to cry before they turned the bat because he was kind of wild as a youngster.
Oh boy.
I imagine there's a number of guys out there from his hometown that say, yeah, I played baseball for a little while. Then there was this guy, this Justin guy.
Yeah, so I retired at age 12.
Yeah, I shut her down. I got a balk call.
Oh. Well, his feet were so quick. Let's see what the reason for the balk was.
Home plate umpire Jim Reynolds was saying you've got to step. I'm not sure he's the one that made the call. I thought it was coming from second base. Let's see. Got to step in the direction you're throwing the ball. I don't know if that's a whole lot different than what he did earlier in the game, but maybe with an extra look at it, they determined that was a balk.
1 ball, 1 strike. That's the 2nd balk called on Verlander this year.
That's the quickest feet I've ever seen. That's the quickest right-handed move I think I've ever seen.
He's really quick. For a guy who's 6'5".
That's probably why he throws so hard. He's got that quick twitch muscle fiber we're talking about.
Okay. Where do you buy that anyway?
I don't know, but I never had it. I wish I did. Bob Cluck used to talk about that when he was our pitching coach. And then, can you give me some of that?
Does that come in an energy drink? 2 balls and a strike.
Now they'll be testing you.
Bouncer shortstop. Easy 2-hopper for Everett. And in the 4th inning, no runs ahead. A runner stranded after 4. 4-2 Tigers. Astros baseball on Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by AT&T, by Dodge, by Whataburger, and by Southwest Airlines. Outside Minute Maid Park. It is hot. Inside 4-2 Tigers. We go to the 5th inning and it's Placido Polanco. He's made the difference in this game so far with a 3-run homer to left field. He's 1 for 2. Juan Rodriguez club though has put together some hits. 5 hits and 2 runs off Verlander. And there's strike 1. We look back at Polanco.
Consider some of the big bats in this Tiger lineup. Now you're least worried about going deep on you. Probably Polanco. Maybe Adam Everett.
It's a curveball the other way. Diving stop. Matsui gets it.
Nice.
Matsui laying out, and then he threw it on one leg. Not only his right leg on the ground. Made an accurate throw.
I wonder if Wandy knows how to say domo arigato. That is slick.
Very well done to keep Polanco off base. Now it's Cabrera. Cabrera homered in the 1st. He struck out in the 2nd. At the knee, strike 1 for Wandy. Wandy lost his only start against Detroit in 06 at Comerica, giving up 10 hits, 7 runs in 6 2/3 innings. Curveball in the dirt makes it 1-1. Cleveland is pummeling Cincinnati 9-2. Ryan Garco and Victor Martinez have gone deep. Bottom of the 8th.
Aaron Harang start for the Reds tonight. They called up Homer Bailey.
Yeah.
Aaron gave up 7 runs, 5 earned, and 4 2/3.
Homer's starting tomorrow night. He's coming back with a split-fingered fastball. As they say, he's been really working well at AAA.
I believe sooner or later he's going to figure it out. And when he does, the Reds are going to have a pretty good pitcher on their hands. Volquez continues to be bothered with injury problems. Ouch.
Cabrera is a big man. He was in the elevator when we went on that trip, spring training to Venezuela to play the Marlins. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was a fun trip. The hotel flooded. I remember that.
Yeah.
Getting out of bed and being like ankle deep in water. And there was those big iguanas were roaming around the hotel property. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. That's a walk to Cabrera. Number 4.
This date in Astro history brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center. June 26, 1988. Craig Biggio makes his major league debut. 6-0 whitewash of the Giants. Walked in the 4th, scored the game's final run after stealing 2nd. How about that?
Well, you've often been asked this, but as you see the box score, what do you remember about pitching to Craig Biggio in that game?
Not a thing.
Okay.
I really don't.
That takes care of that.
It's just too long ago. I mean, I have general memories of Craig when he first came to the big leagues.
So you did not predict instant greatness for him after that first game?
I was just trying to make it out of every outing alive, you know. I mean, when Craig first came up, I remember he had spent very little time in the minor leagues. Mm-hmm. He had a reputation of being a very good young hitter. He looked like he was about 16 years of age. Now he looks like he's 19. He was, he was full of vim and vigor, as they say. You know, played hard, scrappy guy, really got after it.
Yeah. 2 balls and strike to Marcus Thames.
But I'd be lying if I said, yeah, I remember when Craig was catching me that game. I said, this guy's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Thames works the count to 3-1 now. Marcus, after he returned from an injury, that allowed Jim Leland to move Miguel Cabrera from cleanup to 3rd, so Thames could hit cleanup behind him. Thames has one of baseball's highest home run percentages over the last few years. Squirts that one out towards 2nd, and no play. Thames gets an infield roller for a single. 2nd infield hit for the Tigers.
So the guy with one of the better home run rates does this, and Polanco hit the 3-run jack. There's no chance. Once Wandy could not field that ground ball, there was not going to be an out recorded because he has to divert to try to make the play. So he wasn't going to beat Thames to first, and Lance had to go too far. Just a whole lot of ugly from the Astros point of view going on with that swing of the bat. There's Andy Van Slyke coaching first base.
His son got drafted this year.
One fine major league player. And maybe a little bit better quote than he was a player, believe it or not.
True.
But he can play center field, good hitter.
Ran well. Brandon Inge, line to center after drawing a walk. Ball 1. Inge last year started 56 games at catcher. He was drafted as a shortstop. College infielder at Virginia Commonwealth. Strong arm, acrobatic third baseman. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's changed his batting stance a little bit this year. With his hands higher and out away from his body more. Tilting his bat for the pitcher a little bit. You see. Got those hands moving.
And He loads up, and just about every hitter will get into the same spot as they're getting ready to swing. No matter what they do in advance, when they get ready to load up and the hands are pushed back, the angle of the bat is laid back again.
As he says, my hands are now freed up, and I'm mentally taking the right approach.
Really about a 230 lifetime hitter, so it's paying off.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Brandon Inge.
All right, Wandy, double plays in order here. Getting to roll over on a changeup.
The Orioles are just waxing the Nationals 11-1 in the top of the 8th inning at Baltimore. Behind Brad Ferguson. Pass to diving Tejada into left field. Stop sign from Gene Lamont at third for Cabrera. And Inge has a single, loading the bases with 1 out for Ordonez.
Well, he got his ground ball, but Inge able to get it into the hole between third and short. If Miggy gloves that ball, there's no play to be made. Astros have hung in there well against Verlander. They've been patient. They've worked the pitch count, so they're in a good position if Wandy can slam the door on the Tigers here.
91 pitches.
Yeah, he too has had to work awfully hard. Only that 4th inning really an easy inning for him. Working awfully hard in the first 2. Now again here in the 5th.
Alberto Arias is up in the bullpen for Houston.
On a Sunday afternoon, it's a 105 game here with the Tigers of Detroit. And the first 10,000 fans will receive an Astros gym bag pictured there. And that's from our friends at Kroger. And don't forget the deal that's going on now. Started this homestand, runs through August. The kids free all summer deal. 2 free kid tickets in the U deck and the mezzanine level. Kids 14 and under. 2 freebies for every adult ticket you buy in those levels. That's a sweetheart of a deal.
Bases loaded. Ordonez the batter. Ordonez is flying to right and grounded to third.
Big moment in last night's game when Brian Moeller had the bases loaded. He got a comebacker, turned it into a 1-2-3 double play.
6 grand slams for Ordonez and a .336 average. 1 for 5 this year. And this year he just a few days ago snapped a career-long 40-game drought without a homer. Tejada shoveling. Matsui the middleman. Double play ball. Copy Moeller last night. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left for Wandy Rodriguez. He keeps his club within 2, 4-2.
Welcome back to Minute Maid Park. Bart Ennis with you. 4-2 Tigers as we move to the bottom of the 5th. More on that deal JD was telling you about just a moment ago in the mezzanine and the view deck. When you buy an adult ticket, 2 kids 14 and under get in free. Got Michael Atwood and his family here. How'd you like this deal?
Oh, this deal worked out great for us. I mean, both of them were free, and it just seemed the way to go. We normally do the family pass on Friday nights, but we went this route this time, and I think we get a little more bang for the buck that way.
And on this deal, the money you saved, I'm guessing, went to cotton candy, right?
Right. Basically, they just got to eat more, so it works out. You spend the same either way, but, this may work out better for other families, so like it did for us.
Well, Brownie, I tell you what, like the Atwood family, a lot of families out here enjoying this game, and the happiest guy in the place is the guy who has the cotton candy concession, because he is cleaning up out here.
Yeah, the kids seem to be enjoying that. Thanks, Bart. Deep drive by Tejada, caught by Ordonez for out number 1. Now Carlos Lee hits one that same way. Ordonez handles out number 2.
Now Verlander having a very easy inning here in the 5th. It looked like this may be his last inning. Might have been his last inning, but the way things are developing here, they might be able to squeeze one more out of him. He's due to bat third in the top half of the 6th.
Well, Berkman has walked twice. Probably sees something to hit here. 2 outs, nobody on. Hunter Pence on deck. Pence now has drawn 52 walks this year already. Game number 71 for the Astros. There's ball 1.
All right, here we go. Second deck. Right field, right above the Astros bullpen.
Bart Ennis is hustling to get in position then for that right now. 2 balls, no strikes.
Lance wants to take a look at the ball. The movement on that changeup is so nasty. Lance is thinking maybe there's a little scuff or something going on.
Can't blame him.
Jim Reynolds didn't even look at the ball.
He didn't?
I don't think so. I mean, he caught it and then he just threw it right back to him. Or no, maybe he changed the balls. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Jim. I'm not mean to impugn your integrity.
Foul back. 2-1.
That's the one I was counting on right there.
Yeah.
2-0 heater. Just a little bit behind it. Maybe not above the bullpen. Maybe in the Crawford boxes. That's, you know, we talk so much about pitchers needing to be able to throw something other than their fastball and fastball counts. That doesn't necessarily apply to a guy like Verlander. He's one of those guys that can stand out there on some nights against many hitters and say, here comes my fastball, see what you can do with it.
Three balls and a strike. Today's the final day for in-stadium voting for the All-Star game. Berkman draws his 3rd walk. He did see a pitch or 2 to hit, but not enough to give him any kind of a rhythm, and that's walk number 4 overall for Verlander.
And 3 times Lance, and I don't think, especially in this instance, that he was being that careful with Lance, but I think when you're up against a hitter with Lance's background and resume, you just try to overthrow sometimes. You try to get a little more, and you get out of sync with your mechanics and can't locate.
Hunter Pence struck out, then he delivered an RBI single over shortstop.
I know when I was trying to rush it up from 84 to 87, that would happen frequently.
The Pirates beat the Royals 5-3 in Pittsburgh. Virgil Vasquez, just promoted from the minor leagues, got the win. He beat Gil Mesh for the save from Matt Capps, his 17th. Jack Wilson, Jason Jaramillo, Niger Morgan, all going deep for the Buccos.
Wow, how about that trifecta of home run hitters?
Yeah.
If that was a horse race and that trifecta came in, you're cashing a big ticket.
Yeah. Morgan hit his 2nd, Jaramillo number 3, and Wilson number 3. Martin hit number 9 for the losing Royals. Past the mound, Polanco comes in and throws out Pence. No runs, no hits, and a man left through 5. It's 4-2 Tigers.
Up early in the morning. I'm a morning guy. I was 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm already, I'm already walking on the house with a cup of coffee, just thinking what I'm going to do in the day.
He gets that morning workout in when there's a night game, too, during the season. Gerald Laird bunted his way aboard earlier. There's ball 1. He led off the 4th inning with that bunt single. Now as he leads off the 6th, he's at 1-0 in the count, and he's 1 for 2. Pitcher spot due up 3rd. Jerks a line drive to left field. That one hops the wall. Barehanded by Carlos Lee, and he holds him to a long single with a perfect one-hop throw to second base. Laird's 2 for 3.
And a bunt single last time. This time he takes a mighty rip at it. And Carlos, again, playing that wall to perfection, holds him to a single.
Adam Everett has pulled the ball both times. Double off the left field wall. Line drive caught by the left fielder.
Action again now in the Tiger bullpen. And Wayland may be contemplating pinch hitting for Verlander here. I think if he had had a lengthy inning last inning, he definitely would hit for him here, but it's kind of in that tweener stage now in terms of his pitch count and how hard he's had to work this evening.
Zach Miner's warming up again.
Ooh, that's close to a balk too.
What did you see there?
Yeah, looked like he stepped a little more towards home than towards first.
Adam Everett's on a nice RBI pace with 27. Looking at ball 2, drove in 59 for the 06 Astros. That's his tops in the majors. Blue Jays 6, Phillies nothing in Toronto at the end of 8. Ricky Romero pitched the first 7 in shutout fashion against Cole Hamels. Pop foul. 2 balls, 1 strike. Toronto is 15-12 against Philadelphia since interleague play began and has won 5 in a row, 3 this year. Sweeping that series in Philly.
How's Cole Hamels doing this year? I haven't really paid much attention to him.
Not that great. Most of their starters for the Phillies have really had problems putting things together, especially at home.
Didn't they activate Lidge? Is he back?
Yes, he's back. Just came back. 4.24 ERA, and he's 4-3, Hamels. Scott Rowland is 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI. He came into this game tonight in Toronto hitting .340 against his old team, the Phillies. But he wanted out of there. Bouncer past the mound. Glove by Tejada. Flip. Barehanded. Matsui safe at first. It was quick, but Everett beat it. That was some wizardry around second base.
And the quick exchange from the glove to the bare hand to make that flip gave the Astros a chance to turn the double play. Watch how quick Miggy gets it into his back, into his throwing hand, and then the barehanded catch by Matsui in the flip. Runs well, able to beat it.
Verlander around a bunt, and he pops it back off the screen. Strike 1. He put down a sacrifice in the 4th inning after striking out in the 2nd. Verlander, as a junior at Old Dominion, did not have a great ERA, 3.49. And he signed too late to play in 04, had only 1 minor league season before sticking in the majors.
Yeah, you know, when he signed, if I remember correctly, he was a kid with a golden arm that was pretty raw, but he came in a hurry. I mean, he figured it out awfully fast.
Sure did. In 05, he was at Lakeland, 9-2 with a 1.67 ERA. Then he moved up to Erie very quickly, and then he was in Detroit. Bunted back to Wandy. Throws to Matsui. Sacrifice going from 1 to 4. Everett to second, 2 outs. There was a marriage proposal here in the ballpark. And,
there's a Paulie Bykowski right there.
Yeah, Paul Bykowski is applauding right there.
Paul, our sometime director.
Yeah. Well, we wondered why he wasn't working tonight. Apparently, he was putting this marriage proposal together.
Is this his gig?
He's trying to do some kind of a situational TV show based on those marriage proposals at ballparks.
It's a reality show.
Yeah.
Ballpark proposal. Here's to you, Mr. Ballpark proposal guy. What happens if she says no?
Ooh, the
She's
guy in
gone
Montreal.
for popcorn.
Curtis Granderson 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. We've told this story so many times, people are sick of it by now, but we were in Montreal and the lady turned down the guy with a marriage proposal, slapped the ring out of his hand, and it fell down in between a crack in the stands, and they were still looking for it the next morning.
Yeah, Youppi was all dressed up in his tuxedo and everything.
Whatever happened to Youppi? What do you suppose?
Youppi was the big orange mascot of the Expos, and he went across town and he was working for the Canadians, the hockey team, for a while.
Well, it's good to see that he found work.
But I'm not sure. In this economy, Youppi's probably walking up and down St. Lawrence Boulevard.
Yeah.
Trying to play the harmonica or something.
He might have been able to do that. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Granderson.
Big yellow hammer.
Tigers got 1 in the first, 3 in the second. And Wandy gets a strikeout. And that ties him with Mike Cuellar for 5th place in the Astros all-time strikeout list by left-handers. Number 3 of the night for Wandy keeps the score 4-2 Tigers. It is 4-2. The Tigers behind Justin Verlander and some early offense leading the Astros. We have the 7, 8, 9 hitters 2 up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pudge Rodriguez, who was struck out twice, once looking, once swinging. Be followed by Matsui. Then the pitcher's spot. We see some stirring, but nobody throwing yet for the Astros in the bullpen in this 4-2 game. Fastball good for strike 1 on Pudge.
Pudge has punched out twice tonight. Got caught looking in the second on a breaking pitch that he thought was up, and then Verlander blew a fastball by him last time for strike 3.
1 ball and 1 strike. Sports Weekly named its top 5 interleague moments in the history of interleague play, which began in '97. Verlander had 1 of them. 1 and 2. That was his June 12, 2007 no-hitter. He became the first Tiger to throw a no-hitter since '84.
Jack Morris.
Yeah, and it was the first one by a Tiger in Detroit since '52.
Can't help you there.
Line shot, right field corner. That's a fair ball and bouncing and staying in play for Ordonez. A double for Pudge Rodriguez.
Now we're cooking with gas.
That's his 9th two-base hit.
Behind the fastball much of the night, but now he's on it. Shoots that 95-mile-an-hour heater right into the right field corner.
Hit number 6 for Houston. Now 533 doubles. Tejada had his 400th earlier in this game. And now we get a possible pinch hitter out to the on-deck circle, Matt Keita, with Matsui batting. Matsui's grounded to short and hit a fly ball to center. There's ball 1. Alberto Arias was warming up earlier. Nobody throwing, but a couple pitchers just windmilling their arms out there in the bullpen now. As Matsui has a 1-0 count. Ooh, Pudge was trying to lengthen his lead, and then Verlander stepped off, so he quickly headed back to second base. With Keita on deck, the Astros prepared to make a move, so they'll get a pitcher up on that bullpen mound pretty quickly. Foul away, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
For those of you dying to know, the 52 no-hitter was by Virgil Trucks.
Ooh, thank you.
He actually had 2 that year for the Tigers.
Zach Miner and Nate Robertson are warming up for Detroit. Robertson one of 2 lefties, the other being Bobby C., and he's been used a lot recently. CC Sabathia and the Yankees lead the Mets at Citi Field 4-1 at the end of 6. Bunted, picked up and thrown by Gerald Laird on a sacrifice from 2 to 3. Pudge to third, and now we'll see the pinch hitter Keita. Wandy Rodriguez lifted from the game after 6 innings of work tonight, allowing 7 hits, 4 runs. He had 4 walks and struck out 3. And it's Keita pinch hitting for him. Matt 5 for 24 for a 208 batting average with 2 runs batted in. And he was 1 for 3 with an RBI in the Kansas City series. Strike 1 to Keita. Keita grounded out on a good play last night by the Royals first baseman Mike Jacobs.
Ground ball anywhere but pitcher and third base gets this run home.
Keita delivered a pinch RBI single in the 10th inning Wednesday night to tie the game 3-3.
It sounds easy enough. Hey, just hit a little ground ball to short or second base. We'll get that run in, but tough to get on top of Verlander.
It's the Coors Light 6th inning. Check out the Frost Brewed Coors Light Freeze Cam. Curveball breaking down. Tejada hits the top part of it. Bounces it by the third baseman, Brandon Inch, for an RBI double in the third. Ripped on a line, but foul. Change up. Still a 1-2 count.
And up being the operative word there. Up in his eyes. He put a good swing on it. Just a little out in front.
One of those other top 5 moments in interleague play by Sports Weekly. The Astros 6-pitcher no-hitter at New York against the Yankees. Line drive, right field line. That'll get the runner home to make it 4-3. Queta takes the big turn. Ordonez gets it back. Another pinch RBI single for Queta, his second in his last 3 games.
Lead off double, get him over, get him in. Astros within 1 now, and Verlander comes back with the changeup. Queta stayed back nicely on it.
Queta's making a bid to stick around. He's now 3 for 9 as a pinch hitter with 2 runs batted in, and he has KO'd Verlander, who's in line for the win, but now it's a 1-run lead, 4-3. With Michael Bourne due up. Back in a moment. For the Astros is brought to you by Bud Light. Showing you the rest of the series. Alfredo Figueroa tomorrow night against Felipe Paulino, coming off the disabled list at 5:30. You can see Astros live. Edwin Jackson and Russ Ortiz square off Sunday. Astros live at 12:30 for the finale of the homestand. Nate Robertson's in the game.
Nate had a real nice run as a starter with the Tigers. Finds himself in the bullpen this year. Has a high ERA. He's walked too many. Fastball, slider, changeup.
Looks over at first for Matt Queta. Back to the bag. Robertson, 31 years old, signed to a multi-year deal by Detroit. Went to Wichita State. He's from Wichita, Kansas. The Tigers have shifted him to the bullpen after he made 28 starts last season. Bourne has hung in well against lefties with a .286 average. And Robertson has not done so well at getting lefty hitters out. Bouncer aimed to right field. Queta will take a look at Dave Clark, who says hold on there at second. Maglio Ordonez with the throw. Bourne with hit number 2 of the night. First and second, 1 out for Keppinger.
Yeah, sometimes the numbers lie, but in that instance they did not. Michael hanging in there against lefties. Robertson has not been very good against southpaws. Michael able to find the hole. Queta going hard, giving his third base coach a chance to bring him over, but Dave Clark said nope. Shut her down right there.
Well, he looked over and saw the Dave Clark 5 sticking up in the air. Queta headed back. And now Jim Leyland will go to his bullpen again. He's had Zach Miner warming up. It's Detroit 4, Houston 3. Back in a moment.
Kind of a swingman for the Tigers the last couple of years, working both as a starter and a reliever. He's made 4 starts this year, 19 appearances overall, 5-1 record, 4.23 ERA. He too has walked more than you would like. Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup.
His last outing day before yesterday against the Cubs. Miners retired first batter face 9 of 15 times. He's inherited 16 runners, 9 have scored. He inherits 2 here with a 1-run lead, and it's Keppinger 1 for 3 batting. Del Tejada on deck. And it's ball 1 to Keppinger. Last 5 outings from Miner have brought him 2 wins, no losses, a 1.04 ERA.
It's a lot of outs on the ground. That's probably Jimmy Leyland's thinking here with a couple of men aboard. Double play, clean up this inning for him. Yeah, there's a sinker there. That's a double play ball if you hack at it.
Sure is. 94 turbo sinker. 2 balls, no strikes. He has 2.05 ground balls for every fly ball this season. Detroit 2 for 7. Houston 2 for 7 with men in scoring position. That's a strike, and it's 2-1.
First one to 3 wins.
Both these teams have been very good at inducing double play balls. Each with 67 coming into this game. The Astros got one in the 5th. Minor, a 4th-round pick of the Braves in 2000. He's from St. Louis. Bouncer, 2 hops. Everett, he gets it to Polanco, and on to first. Despite the best efforts of Michael Bourne, the Tigers turn 2, and the Astros settle for a run on 3 hits with a man left. 4-3 Detroit.
About what we got going around the ballpark, where you can make your own sign. Fox Sports Houston has 2 tables set up here. The Peters family joined that table. Eric Peter here and his kids got your sign. Hold it up for everybody to see there, pal. Was this fun for you guys?
Oh, this is great. Coming out, the kids have been looking forward to this all week. You know, it's a great family event, and we're just here to support the team.
Well, you can make your own sign, and the Peters kids did that. Everybody see that? You guys have a cheer you want to do? Let's hear it.
Go!
A little stage fright there for the Peters kids, but for participating in our Fox Sports Houston sign contest, you are the progressive fans of the game. Enjoy the rest of the game, guys. Brownie, back to you.
Good fans. Thanks, Bart. 4-3 lead for the Tigers. Alberto Arias comes out of the Houston bullpen. He's facing Placido Polanco, who ripped a 3-run homer in the 2nd. He's 1 for 3. First pitch from Arias is ball 1. Arias comes in with a hot hand, a 10-inning scoreless streak. Pitched Tuesday night, 1 hitless inning against Kansas City. Falls behind here, 2-0.
Well, mission accomplished. The Astros have gotten into the Tigers bullpen, and now the Astros pen have to keep the Tigers right there. He's got 2-3-4 due up here for the Tigers. Berto, as Brownie mentioned, on a nice roll of late. The numbers overall very, very good. 183 batting average against. Better than 2 strikeouts for every walk, and an ERA of 2.33.
Now he eases that one in after being high, and it's 3 balls and a strike. The diminutive Placido Polanco. Red Sox 4, Braves nothing. Bottom of the 9th in Atlanta. Josh Beckett went the first 7.
Big Poppy went deep again. Number 8 in 3 and 4 days now for the big guy.
He's figured it out, hasn't he?
Like it.
As his manager said, well, he had a bad couple months, but if he's good from here on out, that'll be fine for us. 3-2 to Polanco. Cabrera and Thames to follow. Bouncer shortstop. Tejada. 1 out. 6 innings for Wandy Rodriguez. 7 hits, 4 runs allowed. He walked 4 and fanned 3. And with his final strikeout, as we mentioned, he tied for 5th on the all-time Astros strikeout list by a left-hander with screwballing Mike Cuellar.
Well, he did a nice job hanging in there tonight. Allowed that solo home run in the 1st, the 3-run shot to Polanco in the 2nd, and it looked like it was going to be a short night for him. Stiffened his resolve, hung in there, gave the Astros 6 innings and a shot to win this ball game.
Miguel Cabrera ripped a homer in the 1st. Ooh, swing at a nice sharp breaking ball. And strike one.
And just cheating on a heater here, flying open early, guessing fastball. And a lot of good hitters will do that early in the count. I feel like they've got a pitch or 2 to play with.
That's high to right center field. Hunter Pence waiting. 2 outs. I was asking Alberto Arias last night, do you prefer your slider or your curve? He said, I don't really prefer one over the other. Two outs, and it's Marcus Thames who has a walk and an infield hit. Cleveland bashed Cincinnati 9-2. Jeremy Sowers going to 2-5 with a win over Aaron Harang. He's 5-8. Ryan Garco and Victor Martinez had long balls for the Tribe. Ball 1 to Thames. Baltimore blasted Washington 11-1. Brad Bergeson goes to 5-2, beating Ross Detweiler. He's 0-4. That's a good pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brought the sinker back in over the corner. Two and 1. Astros relievers have combined for a 2.35 ERA in their last 28 games. They were exceptional last night. 4 innings of 1-hit shutout ball in a 5-4 win. Wesley Wright getting a win. Jose Valverde a save in a 5-4 victory. And it was Wright, Sampson, Hawkins, and Valverde combining for those 4 1-hit shutout ball innings.
How about Wesley? Came in and punched out 4.
Yeah.
And an inning in the 3rd.
New career high. Paid attendance tonight is 33,052. Crowd's been good this week. And a miss makes it 3-2. Astros bullpen showing a lot of depth. Oh, that's ball 4. Jim Reynolds had a good look at it.
They're trying to go down and away, and it backs up on Arias. Maybe that cost him a little bit as Pudge had to reach across to catch it. Might have been off the plate just a little bit inside.
Now we get a pinch runner, Josh Anderson, a former Astro, running at first for Marcus Thames. Anderson probably stays in to play left field. Andy Van Slyke talking with him, and now it's Brandon Inge batting. Thames leaves the game, and Inge is 1 for 2 with a walk. So Jim Leyland can play some National League style baseball with his club, the way it's constituted. Do some pinch running. Strike to Inge.
Anderson capable of stealing a bag. He's 11 out of 13 this year.
Tigers have 39 steals in 58 attempts, but this is one of the guys who can run on their club. It's a 1-1 count. Tigers had a big crowd of 42,000 plus at home yesterday. People in Detroit starting to really take to this club. Anderson was a good base stealer in the minors for the Astros. Played center field. Then he was with the Braves. Snap throw to first. He gets back in on a dive. And Lance has talked about that, how he likes to position himself such that the tag can be seen by the first base umpire, so he's moving his feet out of the way as he gets in position there.
Yeah, he has a long way to travel to get all the way to the inside of the bag so he can make that sweep tag. Otherwise, he has to catch it in the backhand and just blindly swing around the other way and not really know where the base runner is.
Two balls and 1 strike. And Arias is working on Anderson now. It's a good running count here. Inge is hitting .290 on the road this year. Anderson has measured a pretty decent sized lead. Bouncer up the middle into center field. Anderson will take the turn, hold on at second as Bourne picks it up on a single by Inge. First and second, 2 outs for Ordonez now.
With 1 out, Anderson may have played that a little bit more aggressively, but with 2, willing to go station to station here. His lot in life not improved all that much by getting to third base with 2 outs.
Now Rodriguez and Arias talk it over. Ordonez, 35 years old now. Some think Father Time might be catching up to him. he's been hitting a lot more ground balls this year than he has in the past. And bounced into that double play in the 5th inning, in fact. He had 21 homers last year, driving in 103 runs with a .317 batting average. And he's slumping so badly this season. His batting average is not bad, but as you see, 271 career homers, over 1,100 runs batted in, but his on base and slugging is so much lower this year than in a normal season. He's lost playing time recently because of that.
It's not surprising to see somebody 35 go into a decline, but the degree of which he is off his career norms is somewhat surprising. It's hard to explain all the ground balls versus his career norm too.
Oh, what a play by Pudge. Short hop, pickup out of the dirt on the backhand side to keep the runners at first and second. Two balls, one strike to the former White Sox player Maglio Ordonez of Venezuela. Strike on a breaking pitch, 2-2. Ordonez made his major league debut against the Astros in '97 with the White Sox, and he hit his first major league homer at Chicago off Jose Lima. He was the American Association MVP that year. The appeal goes to first. Tim Welke said it was a check swing, and it's 3-2 now. And the runners will be moving.
Pudge calling this early and emphatically, trying to influence Welke, but I think Welke got it right.
Now here comes a big one for Arias. Anderson and Inge ready to go. Bouncer shortstop. Tejada takes his time, throws to Berkman. That's the 7th for Detroit with no runs a hit, 2 men stranded, 4-3 Tigers. Texas Ford Dealers game summary is right there on the screen for you. Polanco and Cabrera with homers for all the Tigers, 4 runs, and they got them all in the first 2 innings. And Rodriguez has allowed 11 homers in June, so Wandy was able to regroup after that and stay in for 6 innings. Tejada, Pence, and Queta have RBI hits for the Astros, who have been pecking away. The Astros 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position. 7th inning stretch, always fun for us. We get to toss out some snacks with the folks up here in the club level. Love that club level seating.
Yeah, I really think these might be the best seats in the house. The ones right down here below us. Up a little bit, maybe on home plate.
Josh Anderson is taken over in left field after pinch running for Marcus Thames. Miguel Tejada just took ball 1 from Zach Miner. Joel Zumaya in the bullpen. And there's a sinker for ball 2. Tejada is 2 for 3. Firestone in-game box score will tell you that. Each club has 8 hits, no errors, and 8 men left on base. But the Tigers have the edge in runs. Lee and Berkman to follow here in the Astros 7th with the 3-4-5 hitters. Miner brings it back for a strike, and it's 2-1. Tigers relievers have 11 wins, 7 losses, a 4.18 ERA. Foul ball makes it 2-2. Well, the Astros have had 5 straight 1-run games at home.
Yeah. We like drama here.
Yeah.
It's all about entertainment.
Well, entertainment again tonight then. Bouncer, got him over to his right. Low throw, but Cabrera handles it. 1 out, and Cabrera's really worked hard on his play at first base.
Adams, one of those guys, you see the ball hitting his direction, you just start to mark the scorebook. And that's a 6-3. 6-3 in the scorebook.
Yeah.
And they get 2 outs, they hit it towards him, you start walking towards the dugout.
Well, he's been a very good safety valve for a lot of pitchers over the years. They're on the ground somewhere between third and second. You've got to have a good feeling if you're on the mound. Carlos Lee is 0 for 3 tonight.
You see pitchers do that in the third out of an inning, like on a fly ball. When they know it's a routine fly ball, they'll just start walking to the dugout. You normally don't see it on a ground ball in the infield. You usually hesitate. But that Adams, go ahead, start walking.
1 ball and 1 strike. Zach Minor started a game at Detroit, and the Astros were there in 06. He got a lot of run support, and he won that game 10-4. He faced Wandy Rodriguez. Gave up 10 hits, 3 runs, and 5 1/3. It's 2-1. He pitched in the World Series in 06 with Detroit. This is his 3rd year with them. They got him in a trade for Kyle Farnsworth in July of 05. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We didn't hear anything more about Farnsworth. He had a groin injury here a couple nights ago, but last night they said they didn't place him on the disabled list yet because they were awaiting the result of an exam here. Looked pretty bad. He went down. He helped off the field.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to end up putting him on the DL. There's just no way you have to be helped off the field with a groin injury the way he was, and you don't end up going on the DL.
Ricky Romero and Toronto beat Philadelphia 6-1. Romero 5-3, beating Cole Hamels. He's 4-4. Fouled away.
And Minor kind of the opposite of Verlander. When Verlander was out there, you had to tell yourself as a hitter, get the ball down. Anything up above the belt around that high would be very difficult to do anything with. Minor, the power sinker, you got to make sure he elevates it a little bit.
As a reliever in his career, he's 9-6 with an ERA of 3.54. Foul back again. Justin Verlander in 5 1/3 innings allowed 7 hits, 3 runs. He walked 4, fanned 6. Nate Robertson, no innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks or strikeouts. And Minor came in and got that big double play ball on Keppinger. Both runners at first and second, and that 1-run lead in the 6th inning to get the Tigers out of trouble. Ripped on a line to Inge. 2 out.
That's that double play, the biggest play in this game now, in a 1-run game. Polanco able to turn that with Michael Bourne coming hard. This ball struck well, but it's kind of been a recurring theme for Carlos lately.
It has, you're right. That's some hard hit outs. Lance Berkman has walked all 3 times in this game. Texas is ripping away at home on San Diego. 11-2 Rangers, bottom of the 7th inning. Line shot to right. Ordonez knocks it down. A single for Berkman. And he's on for the 4th straight time.
Yeah, that on base percentage will really climb tonight. 3 walks and a knock for Lance. Stayed back on the breaking pitch. Had a .377 on base percentage coming into play tonight. Slugging average up over 500. Those numbers moving in the right direction.
Jim Leland is looking like a manager about to make a double switch here. Pitcher spot is due up 3rd. He's had Zumaya warming up in the bullpen. Ordonez made the last out in the top of the inning. And he's coming in from right field. And they're going to switch their outfielders. Don Kelly is going to go to left and move Anderson to right, with Ordonez coming out of the game. The pitcher Zumaya will go into Ordonez number 6 spot, and Kelly will go into the 9 spot in this double switch. Detroit 4, Houston 3. Back in a moment. One-run lead for the Tigers, 4-3 over the Astros. Bottom of the 7th inning. Lance Berkman, the runner at first, 2 outs. Jim Leland has made some changes. Here's the new left fielder, Don Kelly. He's batting in the 9 spot, moving Josh Anderson from left field to right field. Maglio Ordonez coming out. Pitcher number 4 is Joel Zumaya from Chula Vista, California.
Now we showed you Verlander reached 98 on the gun. Zumaya can get to triple digits. He can really blow.
Starts with a slider, strike one.
When you're looking for 100, you start you with a breaking ball. You tip your hat and say, okay, I'm on 1 now. What do I do? And you cannot, as a hitter, come off the fastball. You can't say, I'm going to look for a breaking ball off this guy. He throws 100 miles an hour.
To Hopper, Everett. Tossing to Polanco. No runs a hit and a man left after 7. 4-3 Tigers.
.com, the quarterfinals of the bracket challenge ongoing. Greg Biggio's final game in 07, Jeff Kent's home run in the bottom of the 9th, game 5 of the 04 NLCS. That's what you're deciding upon this week.
Gerald Laird leads it off as he did in the 4th and 6th innings with singles both of those times. Gets a breaking pitch in the dirt. Here's ball 1 as the 8th inning gets underway. Laird led off the 4th with a bunt single to 3rd, and in the 6th he lined a hit to left field. Keppinger's in at the edge of the grass at 3rd. Popped up out of play, and it's a 1-ball 1-strike count. For Detroit, Zach Miner went an inning and a 3rd, giving up 1 hit, no runs, had no walks, no strikeouts. Both bullpens pitching well so far in this 4-3 contest. Tigers scored all their runs in the first 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Astros will have the 7, 8, 9 spots due up in the bottom of the 8th. Arias gets his 2nd inning on the mound. Foul ball makes it 2-2 to Laird. The Angels jumped on the Diamondbacks with 8 in the 2nd at Arizona. Billy Buckner giving up all 8. Jared Weaver on the mound for the Angels.
I read somewhere that it's likely now that Brandon Webb will have surgery and may be done for the year.
Ooh. Angels a half game behind Texas when play started tonight. Well, we were hearing that last year there was a contract extension on the table for Brandon Webb by the Diamondbacks, but Arizona medical staff wouldn't sign off on it, so it got pulled. He didn't get the extension. Line drive foul. Wow.
This is whacking people right and left.
Yeah.
Well, rarely is your doctor your most valuable player, but in that instance he may be. He saved them a lot of money.
Yes, he did.
Little guy's a rally hawk trying to make a play.
He's ready for another one. Up and in, ball 4. Laird leads off the 4th, 6th, and 8th innings and reaches base all 3 times. 2nd walk for Arias.
And now with the double switch, Kelly's in the 9-hole now. He hits behind Adam Everett, so a little different scenario here. Adam may be asked to bunt. Tigers likely looking to play for a run here in the 8th inning of a 1-run game.
And double to left, line to left, and bounced into a force play. He's driven in 10 runs in his last 16 games. Lefty Tim Burdack warming up for Houston. Bunted, and Arias goes to Matsui covering. Buckner hit the deck. Everett does his job. Now we'll see if Burdack comes in to face Kelly. And then Granderson, another left-handed hitter, would follow. back, a former Detroit Tiger, getting loose, and Cecil Cooper wants him now to create this lefty on lefty matchup. Jim Leland has gone to his bench, and Anderson came off the bench, pinch run and stay in. Kelly will be next off the bench tonight. More of a National League style of game. 4-3 Detroit. Back in a moment. Rapid rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Former Detroit Tiger Tim Burdack comes in. He was released by the Tigers. The Astros scooped him up after spring training last year. Had a good year last year. This year, 12 for 45 for left-handed hitters against Tim Burdack.
Well, he's going to face one here. And earlier this year, lefties had a high batting average against him, but he's been whittling away at that. He's been neutralizing righties all year long.
Lefty hitting Don Kelly comes up for the first time. Kelly, 29 years old, comes up with one out and Laird on at second base in a one-run game. Strike to Kelly, who's from Butler, Pennsylvania. Went to Point Park College in Pittsburgh. An 8th round pick of the Tigers in 01, but then he moved along as a free agent to the Pirates, then Arizona, and the Tigers signed him to come back in January. He played AAA Tucson all year last year. Kelly looks at it, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Kelly had 27 major league at-bats with the Pirates in 07. That's his only previous major league time prior to this year. Kelly had 4 at-bats against the Cubs the day before yesterday, 0 for 4. One and two. And he rewarded Jim Leland last Saturday against Milwaukee with 3 hits. Contract was purchased from AAA Toledo prior to the June 12th game. So he's had some moments already in just a couple of weeks with the Tigers. Burdack gets him on strikes. 2 outs.
He just blows that good fastball by him above the hands. Inside part of the plate. Tim looking for a little revenge against this club that released him.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have released me. Look what I can do.
Curtis Granderson's 0 for 3 with a walk, scored a run in the Polanco 3-run homer in the second inning. 222 against Southpaws. And there's strike one. Glenn Perkins and the Twins stopped St. Louis 3-1 in St. Louis tonight. Perkins going to 3-4. He beat Adam Wainwright, who's 8-5. Joe Nathan got save number 18 for Minnesota. Snap throw to second, bounces and hits the runner, but stays right there. Laird was hit with a 1-hop throw from Rodriguez. Pitch was ball 1. The count's 1-1.
He would have been out in 1897.
Yeah, they used to call it plugging. You could throw it and hit the runner, and you plugged him, and he was out.
Still works in kickball.
1 ball and 1 strike. It is 2-1. Polanco on deck. Well, with Minnesota winning, the Tigers would need a victory to stay 5 games in front of the Twins. Twins 1 game above 500. And with St. Louis losing, all the other clubs who could win would gain a game in the NL Central. 3-1. The Astros picked up a game last night. They trail by 5 coming into play tonight. So if they can win this one, they would be just 4 behind the front running Redbirds.
Yeah, and just 2 in the loss column.
Ooh. Popped up foul.
So this whole debate as to who's going to be a seller and a buyer and all that, but as the trade deadline approaches and still have some time, but I don't think anybody in this division is giving it up. I mean, why would you?
Really can't. Chris Sampson's warming up for the Astros, and Milwaukee has won to move into a tie for first in the NL Central with St. Louis. Granderson takes a walk.
Now, if this continues, we could be in for one of the all-time great races ever. To have this many teams in the same division.
True. Could be an absolute free-for-all. Cecil Cooper has had Sampson warming up. Now has to think about Polanco, right-handed hitter, coming up next, who homered off the lefty Wandy Rodriguez in the second. He's 1 for 4. And Coop will go to the bullpen again with Sampson coming in. The score, the Tigers 4 and the Astros 3. Man, he faced 2 men. Now it's Chris Sampson, pitcher number 3 here in the top of the 8th for Houston.
Chris 3-0 this year, 3 saves, a 2.11 ERA. He's been scored upon just once in his last 12 appearances, and spotless against these foes from the junior circuit. The Astros pen has been very good lately and worked hard recently too. Last night 4 innings out of the pen. The night before 5 innings because of the 11-inning game. Doesn't include all the times they get up in the pen, get ready, but are not used.
Yeah. Polanco ripped the 3-run homer in the second. He's 1 for 4. Hitting .250 against righties. And that's strike 1 for Sampson. Sampson's been good in just about every department. He's inherited 19 runners, 8 have scored. He's retired the first batter he's faced 27 times in 35 tries. Cabrera's on deck. Fly ball foul and out of play for Lance Berkman. 0-2. Chris worked Wednesday night, 1 hitless inning. Thursday night, 2/3 of an inning, no hit. And tonight, 3 days in a row for Chris. He also pitched last Saturday and Sunday at Minnesota.
And a lot of times, you know, the guys that you use in the 7th and 8th and 9th inning, you designate those guys and you only use them when you're trying to protect the lead or in a tie game. But you know, down just 1 and still have 2 at bats left, so Coop feels like this is a winnable game. Treat it almost like it is a tie or that he has a lead, and use his best guys. Try to keep it right there and see if they can get something going, especially after losing 2 out of 3 to the Royals to start the homestand. Right.
Now it's a big one for him tonight, and the Astros have a chance to gain a game in the NL Central. Bounce foul. It's been a struggle against the good pitchers who have been facing the Astros.
And that's kind of the rub of it all. When you use your guys in games that you're trailing, and after so many appearances, people are going to have days off. And then the fear is you don't have them available when you do have a lead to protect. That's just the nature of the beast. Hawkins has worked 3 days in a row.
The emergency hack there for Polanco, and fouled it off, and that's what he does well. He's a tough guy to strike out. Makes contact, gets a little piece of it,
and chokes up on the bat a little bit, uses a short stroke, doesn't try to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Every now and then he'll surprise you, as he did tonight back in the second when he hit that 3-run bomb.
He's a .326 career hitter in interleague games. 1-2. Polanco entered this season with a 306 major league average. Giovanni Gallardo won from Milwaukee 5-1 over San Francisco and Matt Cain. Fly ball to left. Carlos Lee backpedaling. Back a little bit more. Right in front of the wall. In the 8th inning. No runs, no hits. 2 men stranded. 4-3 Detroit. Bob Gibson tosses his 5th consecutive shutout as he blanks the Pirates 3-0. Gibson would run his streak of scoreless innings to 48 2/3 in his next start. He was to go on to win the ERA title and set a record 1.12. Joel Zumaya has a 4-3 lead. Bottom of the 8th inning. Pudge Rodriguez will lead it off. He doubled leading off the 6th inning and came around to score on the pinch RBI single by Matt Keita. He's 1 for 3. Kazuo Matsui's on deck. The pitcher's spot is due up 3rd. Bullpen action for Houston now. Foul ball, strike 1. Jeff Fulcino's warming up for the Astros. Tim Burdack worked 1/3 of an inning, giving up no hits, no runs with 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Alberto Arias 1 1/3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. Line up the right field line. Anderson over into the corner, reaching out and running into that wall. It's a foul ball, and Anderson really gave it a try.
Boy, just that close to another leadoff double for Pudge. Shot it. Line drive in the right field corner last time, up for 2 bases. Making another bid. Anderson plays hard.
He went after that one all out. Flexing there. That's the difference between his former spot, center field, and playing the corner positions, running into more walls on balls like that. 4 balls, 2 strikes. Zumaya cranking it up there at 101. Open bat, and Pudge had to be quick just to foul that one. That one up at 102.
Something to say to the Tiger dugout.
Yeah. He's smiling a little bit. Probably giving it to Jim Leland, his friend over there. They were chatting before the game. And this one goes in that same direction, but foul. And out of play. Matt Cain actually allowed 5 runs in 7 innings tonight for the Giants at Milwaukee. Giants had won each of Matt Cain's last 9 starts before tonight, and he had an ERA of 1.87.
Back upstairs with a heater.
Punch to right field. Anderson with the catch. 1 out.
A little interesting bit of gamesmanship there by Laird. He called the pitch and he asked for it up. And then he was pounding his mitt into the dirt so that Pudge could hear it. Trying to get Pudge to think they're going to try to throw a breaking ball down in the dirt. He'd already called fastball up. So that's all for Pudge right there. You see him at the last minute coming out of his crouch wanting a high fastball. And Zumaya clearly conflicted by it all, just so right down the middle. You want it high? Does he want it low? What does he want?
Matsui with Darren Erstad on deck takes ball 1 at 102. He's grounded out with a fly ball and sacrifice.
The fans obviously have become blasé. I remember a day when the triple digits went up on the board, the place was oohing and awing.
Yeah.
Back in the Billy Wagner days.
Jeff Blum was 1 for 4 with a double and an RBI in his second rehab game for Round Rock tonight. He'll be rejoining the club tomorrow. Line drive over shortstop into left center field. Granderson over to play it. And Matsui's on with a single. The Astros in double digits with 10 hits tonight.
You got to be quick to get to that 101, and Matsui with a short stroke just shoots it into left center. You don't want to be loading up, taking a big long swing to be completely overmatched. You got to be short, quick to the ball, and that is what it was.
And now Darren Erstad would like to follow suit as the pinch hitter. Drew a pinch walk last night in the 7th inning. 147, 1 homer, 5 runs batted in. He hit a 2-run pinch homer in the 6th inning Wednesday night off Kansas City's right-hander Luke Hochevar. That gave the Astros a 2-1 lead, and it gave them their first pinch homer of the season. Ball 1. Here's Sampson working 1/3 of an inning log. No hits, no runs, but no walks, no strikeouts. Chino in the bullpen as Erstad pinch hits. That was the second career pinch homer Wednesday night for Erstad. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's been a very good hitter in interleague games. 332 lifetime. 20 homers, 86 runs batted in.
Sometimes facing a guy like Shemaya who throws so hard force you to have good habits like this. Because you get some of the soft tossers, I think guys may tend to overswing. Again, that's not an option against this guy.
Two and 1 to Darren Erstad. He was the first player drafted in '95.
Aaron, an outstanding multi-sport athlete in North Dakota. Good hockey player, state champion in the high hurdles. Was punted at Nebraska. He can do it all. Give him a ball and he'll figure out what to do. Or a puck for that matter.
2-2. 264 lifetime hitter against Detroit. Michael Bourne's on deck. Astros about hit the Tigers 10-8. Detroit has stranded 10 runners. Houston has left 9. Matt Cato came up with a pinch RBI single in the 6th inning for Houston. Erstad fouls it back. Good cut there for Darren.
This game is both boring and dramatic at the same time.
Yeah, because on any given swing, it can be a lead change. A lot of times they're a foul ball.
Baseball is a metaphor for life.
Now you're getting deep. Darren is 5 for 28 as a pinch hitter. Now the count's full.
According to Sports Illustrated, when they named the greatest sports figures from each state, Darren Erstad ranked 3rd from North Dakota. Behind Roger Maris and Phil Jackson.
Ooh. 3-2 as Matsui has his lead. Erstad with a slicing fly ball toward the stands. Stays in there. 3 balls, 2 strikes. CC Sabathia and the Yankees knocked off the Mets at Citi Field 9-1. Sabathia goes to 7-4, being Mike Pelfrey is 5-3. Brett Gardner hit his 3rd homer. A-Rod number 11. For the Mets, Gary Sheffield number 9. By the way, the Tigers are still paying Gary Sheffield. Ball 4, Erstad working the walk. Really had to work it too. That's an excellent job. 2 men on for Michael Bourne.
Well, we've talked a lot lately about the bench players for the Astros and the at-bats they got in the American League cities, how it pays off. And it's not just in terms of the hits, but how well they're seeing the ball, the ability to work some walks, and not be quite as anxious, too. When you've got some at-bats under your belt, you don't feel like, you've got to do so much with that one singular at-bat you get in the game.
Rick Knapp out to the mound. Our next telecast comes your way tomorrow night, an hour earlier than tonight. We have Figueroa versus Paulino. Two hard-throwing young right-handers tomorrow night.
Michael's having a good night. Walked back in the third, single in the fourth, single in the sixth. You could turn this cheese around.
There's ball one. Michael has been at his best with men in scoring position this year. 1-0. The Astros are only hitting .256 as a team. Michael .373 with runners in scoring position. It's 2-0. Cappinger on deck. So Maya's lost command a little bit here. He got Pudge on an 0-2 count on a fly ball. Gave up a single to Matsui. Walked Erstad. Now 2-0 on Bourne. And a low strike call.
Have to be.
Michael very unhappy at the Jim Reynolds strike call.
Early in the game, Jim was calling the pitch up a strike, and I imagine he'd probably tell you that he missed that one.
Looked that way.
On the plate, but probably a little bit low.
Yeah. Laird reached down to receive it. Popped up. This will get back into the seats. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Freddie Dulce, a right-hander, is warming up for Detroit. A few people are traveling by car to a lot of major league parks, and they came from Atlanta over here today. They're going to be in Arlington tomorrow night. They started out in Minnesota, so they're really logging some miles.
Well, they got here just in the right time to enjoy this nice 104-degree weather we're having.
Well, what they're enjoying is being in air-conditioned comfort.
Yeah, they might want to rethink that Arlington trip.
Yeah. Dulce warming up, and then they go on to St. Louis and Kansas City. Ball 4. Now the bases are loaded for Cappinger.
Jimmy Leyland, he doesn't want to take Zamaya out. He loves that right arm. He feels like if he can harness his stuff, he's still his best option. I'm not sure how hard Rodney has worked lately, or how often he uses them for more than an inning. The fact that Dulce's up there throwing him out, Rodney, tells me that he's going to try to stay away from him until the ninth.
Jeff Cappinger, bases loaded, 1 out. 1 for 4, bounced into a double play in the 6th inning. There's ball 1 to him. Now, Rodney worked yesterday. He got a save. He worked the day before. He worked on Sunday. Troy Hawkins warming up for Houston. And Jeff Fulcino.
Whoa. No clue right now.
2-0 with Matsui at third. Erstad at second. Bourne at first, and 1 out. Tiger pitchers have issued 14 bases loaded walks this year. Tejada's on deck.
Thinking one, maybe two.
Oh, 3-1.
Borderline pitch again. If I'm pitching, I want that one. But you don't expect to get it when you've been as erratic as Jeremiah has been in this inning.
Now 3-2. Jeremiah's walked 13 and 24 to third innings coming into this game tonight. Big 3-2 coming. And it's ball 4 to tie the game 4-4. Keppinger draws the bases loaded walk. Third walk in a row by Jeremiah. Now Leland's coming after the home plate umpire with a game tied 4-4. RBI number 10 for Keppinger. Matsui, and you see second baseman Polanco coming in with Santiago going out. Matsui comes in to score the tying run. Ramon Santiago goes out. Polanco made the last out in the top of the inning with a score now. Detroit 4, Houston 4. Back in a moment.
Phone and iPod Touch with MLB.com. At Bat 2009 featuring play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcast. Find it at Astros.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch.
There's Ramon Santiago. He goes in the double switch at second base. Placido Polanco leaving the game, and the new pitcher Freddie Dulce is 1-5 with a 3.97 ERA in his career. Just recalled Tuesday from AAA. This is his first outing with the Tigers this year. Miguel Tejada drive to left field. Kelly is back, makes the catch. Here's the tag by Erstad, and it's 5-4 Houston. On a sacrifice fly by Tejada. Went right after the first pitch from Dulce, and he gets RBI number 2 of the night, number 41 of the season.
Had everybody on their feet thinking grand slam, but down off the end of the bat a little bit. Guys out there on the warning track, but plenty enough to get Erstad home from third with the go-ahead run.
Now it's Carlos Lee 0 for 4. 96 miles per hour up under his chin for ball 1. Tigers do have a hard throwing staff.
Do they have anybody that characterized as a finesse guy? Or everybody low gas?
Pretty much most of them do. Fly ball left field. Kelly waiting for this one for the third out. But the Astros rally to take the lead for the first time. They come up with 2 runs in the 8th inning. On only 1 hit, they lead 2. It's 5-4 Houston. Press conference and the players' post-game comments as well. Interleague highlights from the final score all coming your way right after this game on Astros Live. Now it's Darren Erstad staying in to play left field. Carlos Lee coming out of the game, and LaTroy Hawkins, not Jose Valverde, coming in with a 1-run lead in the 9th inning. This will be his 4th straight day of work.
Yeah, Hawkins working all 3 games in the Kansas City series. Did not throw a lot of pitches, but nonetheless, he obviously been up in the pen and into 3 consecutive ball games. Valverde obviously not able to answer the bell tonight. A little fatigued, a little tender, something, but Troy Hawkins has proved capable in this role while Jose was out, so he gets a chance to pick up another save.
Cabrera, Anderson, and Inge due up in the Tiger 9th inning. Miguel Cabrera homered in the first. He's 1 for 3 with a walk. Chris Sampson in 1/3 of an inning allowed no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. He's in line to be the winning pitcher. Breaking pitch, strike 1 for LaTroy. LaTroy threw 14 pitches last night and holding on to a 5-4 lead with 1 hitless inning in the 8th. Wednesday night, he needed only 7 pitches to get 1 hitless inning and hold on to a 2-1 lead in the 8th. Whip toward the gap in left center. Michael Bourne cuts across. It's a hit. Cabrera takes the turn, and the throw loops back in. A long single by Cabrera.
That's exactly why you play no doubles right there. Guard the line, play very deep in the outfield to take away the extra base hits. If they're playing normal depth, this is probably a 2-bagger. Cabrera's not a speed demon, but if they're playing normal depth, that ball will go all the way to the wall because Michael wouldn't have been able to cut it off.
Now Josh Anderson has words from Gene Lamont, the third base coach, about what he's doing in this situation. Josh, a good butter. This will be his first trip to the plate tonight. 261, no homers, 12 runs batted in. And an inch on deck. Then Santiago would come up. Keppinger creeping in at third, ready to field a bunt. Anderson's not bunting, and it's ball 1.
Yeah, I think on the road down a run here, and the way he's already used Zumaya and Robertson. You talked about Bobby C being fatigued and worked hard lately, and so I think Leland may be thinking, why play for a tie here on the road in the 9th inning? Let's go for it, see if we can get a lead, and then turn the ball over to Rodney for 1 inning.
Anderson fouls it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Josh is hitting 188 over his last 23 games. Tigers have rallied to win 1 game this year when they trailed after 8 innings. Josh from Somerset, Kentucky. They named the street after him after he came up and had some big games for the Astros in 07. It's 1-2 for Troy Hawkins. That was an exciting time for the young man. He went to Eastern Kentucky University. His family came to Cincinnati and watched him play so well. 67 at bats with the Astros that year. He was traded to the Braves for Mr. Villarreal. 1 hopper, Tejada. He shovels. Matsui turns, but no double play. With Anderson running, he's very fast. 1 out, runner at first. And the ball took a while to get out to Tejada.
It was almost like he hit a changeup, hit on a line, but not sharply hit. It kind of floated out there. Miggy settled back to handle the hop, and with Anderson's speed, no real chance to get him.
Well, that first angle was a good one for you to see the way Anderson broke out of the box, and he was halfway up the line to first base by the time Tejada got the ball. He could be running. We'll see. Probably not. Brandon Edge is the batter. Edge is 2 for 3 with a walk. And might with Hawkins on the mound.
I would be inclined to try to run here.
Anderson has been successful on 11 of 13 tries.
Maybe see if Inge is obviously got a legitimate pop. He's hit 17 home runs, so maybe wait, see if you can get Inge into a count where he can do some damage.
He's going. Throw from Podge. It's a tag. Safe. Anderson steals it. His 12th of the year.
Anderson must have, they're talking about the NFL closing speed for safeties because it looked like they were going to get him. The throw sails a little bit, so Matsui has to catch it and then bring it back to apply the tag. If the throw's on the base, they've got him. They might have him anyway.
Yeah.
It's just hard to tell when the tag is applied. The left hand may have got to the bag before the tag was applied to the right hand. See how he rolls over to avoid the tag. That's very, and with the angle the umpire had, it's pretty much guesswork. I think he may have gotten it right.
That was an excellent head first slide. 12th steal for Anderson. And he rolled over, as you said, on that left side. And moved the right side away from Matsui. The count is 0-1. A lot of us are not big fans of the head first slide, but that was the way to do it. He just slithered along the ground, didn't seem to lose anything going head first. He stayed really low, making it tougher to tag him. Fly ball to left. Erstad coming in. Tejada gives way to him. 2 out for Hawkins. And Hawkins, who was the closer for weeks while Valverde was out with his leg injury, now coming back into that save situation. That's save number 9 at Arizona, June 13th. And then Valverde returned to reclaim his job. And now back in the hot spot. Santiago due up.
That work he did obviously pays off. Of course, he had been a closer earlier in his career.
Ryan Rayburn's going to pinch hit.
Nice to have a good veteran guy like Hawkins as a plan B.
Rayburn, a power hitting outfielder, comes off the bench to pinch hit for Santiago. Jim Leland has used every bench player except his backup catcher, Ryan. Ryan Rayburn from Tampa, 28 years old. Spent some time with the Tigers in 04, then went back to Toledo for 05 and 06. Back up with Detroit for a portion of 07. Had some more playing time for them last year. 5th round pick in 01. And now he brings a power threat to the box here with a runner at second and 2 outs. 259, 5 homers, 18 runs batted in for Rayburn. He's had 85 at bats. As a pinch hitter, he has a pinch homer. 1 for 5. Hit a walk-off homer Tuesday against the Cubs. And that was a pinch hit 2-run shot with 1 out in the 9th. Ball 1. Santiago out of the game now. It's going to be interesting if the Tigers push this game to the bottom of the 9th inning. See where everybody plays.
Kelly can play the infield.
Yeah.
Put Kelly in the infield and Rayburn in the outfield.
Yeah.
Let's hope we never find out.
Line on 1 hop. Tejada with a throw to first, and the Astros come from behind to beat the first place Tigers and end their 7-game winning streak. The Astros now have won 12 of their